kind, benevolent ruler decided that he had had enough of the evil being around. And he's like nothing can exist in my kingdom that is not love. And so slowly all of the evil got like coagulated into a big giant blob as it was making its way out of the kingdom by the power of the creed. But then some little jackass kid saw the big blob of evil and was like, I'll love you. And so all of that evil was going to go into the child. And everybody thought that would be a terrible idea, to have it all concentrated into one kid. So they decided that they'd all love it a little.
Was because they listened intently to the sermon every week and had small quibbles. And they discussed their quibbles over a little lunch right after church. And so I listened to them hear the word of God from the man of God, and, you know, not just kind of let it wash over them like everything he said was true, but they tested the spirits. And sometimes they definitely fell into probably like gossiping or judging. I'm sure, like, of course they made mistakes and went too far. They have personality foibles that can get carried away. But like, all that to say, that was where the kind of perhaps skepticism, healthy or not, was inculcated for me. But obviously you can see how that would be wrapped up in issues of authority, which I don't know, now that I'm thinking about it, does that get back to the kind of, is that why the unconditional trust is connected to the unconditional respect in some weird way? That kind of authority structure. I did really, when I was a young man, I kind of thought that like all truth was based on authority, because you had to, in order for trust to be, or in order for you to hear something and trust it, you had to trust the person that was giving it to you. And the best way to trust somebody is for them to be an authority over you, because they're kind of, you're entrusted to them. You know, on a little play on words, you're entrusted to them, so you trust them. But yeah, now I give a little bit more agency to the individual and a little bit more variety to the human population about how they, you know, behave in those types of relationships. But I think the truth still, like, I think that there's still a nugget in there that might be helpful for your problem, Af, which is to say, I don't think you teach a healthy skepticism with something that's like not on the same level of importance or truth or reality. You know, like you teach that healthy skepticism with like the most important things in life, which are, you know, for my family in that context was, you know, the word of God given by the man of God on Sunday. So, yep.
Howdy, buddy. Afriel here. We hope you're feeling virtually not alone. And yeah, tonight we're not going to be doing too much as far as talking. I have some stuff that I have bouncing around in my head, but nothing that I've formally come to idea space well enough to be able to articulate it in an outlined fashion. But yeah. We'll talk about some stuff, and I'm going to try and do Path of Pain again, and we'll see how that goes. Because I looked it up after we were done, and I got very close to the end, but did not quite finish it. So we're going to try that one more time. Is it this one, or is it a little further up? And then once we're done with that, there we go. We're going to go and we're going to get our nail upgraded, we're going to get some charms, try the Colosseum of Fools again, and I'm not going to spend probably more than 30 minutes on the part that I got stuck on last time, if I do get stuck again, so. here we go. Yeah, no, so one of the things that I've been thinking about a bit lately, and there we go, has been sort of like expendability, durability stuff. So, and this is one of those, like, I don't know how much I should be talking about this without having outlined it, but there's a the way that the army does inventory stuff is that there's different durability classifications of different items, and like certain things are going to be classified in such a way are going to be classified in such a way that they let the health come back and then heal. Like a pair of gloves is going to be expendable. Like, they're not going to want that back once you're done with them. They assume that those are going to get worn out. They're going to no longer be good. Once you're done using them, just throw them away. Whereas something like a vehicle is going to be durable. It's something that is expected to last from person to person. And the reason I'm bringing this up, the reason I want to talk about like durability of stuff was actually, where did it come up first? I'm trying to remember. And that was a stupid environmental hit. Where did that come up? There was something about altered carbon that I was referencing. I remember that. There we go. That's pretty good. Pretty clean. Dang it. Touched my toes. I really can't remember it. Shoot. This one might be a little rough today. Just a heads up. Oh man, I just barely touched it. There we go. Because it was in the context of treating humans or human bodies. Oh, that's right. Noah and Neil were talking about Superhot and how in the VR version of that game, there is a level where, in order to finish the level, the game has you shoot yourself. Because the idea is that you are phasing into other people's bodies and they want you to destroy the evidence. I'm gonna go grab some... I actually have plenty of soul to heal with. What am I doing? And so the idea is that you're not killing yourself, right? You're just removing the body that you were inhabiting. And the reason that I brought up altered carbon in that context was, in that world, bodies are very irreplaceable, especially for rich people, where they literally are growing multiple clones of themselves, so that way if they have some sort of a fatal accident or they start to age, they just take their consciousness stack. So there was some sort of alien technology that was discovered that put your consciousness into... Oh, howdy, Spetch. You put your consciousness into this alien tech that was embedded in the base of your spine, and then it allowed you to transfer your consciousness from one body to another body. And most people were not able to afford the cloning technology, so it was something that was very much reserved just for the ruling elite of that world. But it was also used pretty extensively for like their special forces guys, because if you can just train somebody and you can like pick the best of the best, and then you have somebody who's really good at doing what they do, then you can literally just send them from one place in, because physical travel still took a very long time. So if you needed to gain control over a particular colony or a particular planet, you would send these guys in, and they could literally transfer their consciousness across the airwaves and then pop into what they referred to bodies as sleeves, that you would just pop your consciousness into a sleeve. And because you were military, they aren't going to spend the big bucks and clone your own body for you, so usually what they would have is they would have other people's bodies who had either donated them or possibly clones. I'm actually not 100% sure how that particular way worked. But you would go into a different sleeve than the one that you were born into. And what happened as a consequence of that was something that they called sleeve sickness, where I think it was sleeve sickness. You would have, gosh darn it, because your identity was so closely tied into your appearance, your brain or your consciousness had a really hard time handling the fact that you no longer looked the way that your mind and your soul thought you should. Dang it, 2 hops and then dash. Howdy, Foxman. Yeah, I'm talking about, or riffing off of the conversation that you had with Neil, specifically regarding the bit about the super hot scene where you kill yourself, and talking about, like, expendability and stuff like that. Giving the background context first, though, for those who are unfamiliar. So it took a really big toll on those special operators who would go and they would inhabit different bodies other than their own. And what they eventually started doing was, if you did that too much, you would end up going insane, is the gist of it. Actually, you know what? Let me hop into Discord, because I'm more riffing than actually monologuing, so if you do want to join me, Noah, you are more than welcome to, but otherwise, I'll just keep on rambling. Before I am summoned to McDonda's. I'm not sure if that's a reference that I'm not getting, or if there's actually, like, a thing that you have to go do. Any hoozles. And then, like, the other really big part that I thought was important to consider was... Oh. Hello? I need to go back and pull Discord up in a way I can actually see if somebody's in the chat. Ah! When I go to McDonald's list, I have not listened enough to Kanye to know the reference. There we go. Now I can see if somebody comes in the chat room. Although I have to, hang on. OBS, then Hollow Knight, but Alt-Tab to Hollow Knight. Cool. I really do need to figure out a way to, like, show people's faces on screen while playing. That would be cool. There we go. That was clean. That was clean. That was not clean. I need to just pogo off the buzzsaws so I can get my bearings. Okay. Okay. Getting back to altered carbon. So you had people who would have sleeve sickness from swapping into a different body than they were used to. And then you also had rich people who had clones and clones and clones of themselves. And so what would happen is they would start to treat life very, very poorly. Especially living with the people who were able to live for that long were called the Methuselahs, in reference to the biblical figures who had ages that were in the hundreds of years. And yeah, they started being interested in doing, like, because when you live for that long, it's like, okay, well, what else do I have to experience? And so they start getting interested in some very not good stuff, and in particular murder. And that was stupid on my part. And so you have a former special agent who goes rogue and starts offering services to these very wealthy clients, and in particular, because not only do you have the ability to, darn it, 2 jumps and then over, swap your consciousness between different bodies, but you also have the ability to be in like a cyberspace environment. And then as a consequence of being in that cyberspace environment, like, you can do things, and like there's different like pain limiters and other things that they can play around with your perceptions. And so it's really useful in terms of like military training, because then you can have somebody train and train and train, and like they can practice being in situations that they die in over and over and over again, but not actually die. And so this rogue special agent takes that system and then uses it to enable very rich people to practice killing prostitutes in more and more depraved ways. And the prostitutes are, being well paid, so they're fine with it. And eventually that like leads up to them doing sleeve killing, which I think is legal in that universe, which is kind of wild. Like, as long as you're willing to pay whatever expenses are accompanying getting a new sleeve, then nobody cares. But that assumes that you're actually going to get them a new sleeve, and that special agent lady isn't gonna just remove an expense, remove a risk. Gosh, almost got out of it. And so the way that she figures out how to blackmail people is by getting these very rich people into such a drug-fueled frenzy that they not just kill the prostitute, but actually destroy their stack. Destroy the thing that's holding their consciousness. And that is super illegal. You're not allowed to do that. But if she's controlling the environment, and then she kills the rich person's sleeve before their memory can upload. Also, super spoilers. I probably should have said that at the start. Super duper spoilers. But if you can kill the rich person's sleeve too before they have a chance to upload their memory, well then, you've got really good blackmail material that the person themselves doesn't even remember doing. And so it's just this idea of like, if you are able to start treating certain things as expendable, how does that change your relationship with other things? When you start to think of your own body as something that, well, I can just repair it, I can just do whatever with it, it makes it so that you start treating other things more poorly as well. Start treating other things as expendable too. And there's a degree to which, like, you kind of have to treat certain things as expendable. Like, you can't re-eat food. Or maybe you can, but that would be kind of gross. But if you start treating... Like, there are certain things that have a lifespan that you should still, in my opinion, treat respectfully. Like, you should treat, even though animals will die, even though humans will die, that doesn't mean that you should be disrespectful towards them in the time that they're alive. Ah! At least got to it again, but I bungled it trying to do the pogo. No, that was wrong order. Jump, dash, jump. Expendable versus temporal. Like, temporary, yeah. And that's the thing, too, is, like, we like to think about a lot of things as more permanent than they really are, or less destructible than they really are. Like, vehicles in particular are something that we like, can... A well-maintained vehicle can outlast its owner, can outlast multiple owners. Well-maintained temple, on the Shinto note, can outlast many generations of people. But that doesn't mean that a building can't still burn down. It doesn't mean that a car can't still be wrecked beyond repair. And so there's this notion of, like, immortality being present, but also not ultimate. Where it's like, it can live forever if properly maintained, but it can also be killed. And I dashed into the wall because I let go and then dashed. And so it seems like a lot of things have a sort of spirit of some sort. Even if that spirit is just like a Ship of Theseus style continuity of thing. Dang it! I thought I missed the pogo, and that's why I flapped, and I should not have flapped. Okay. There we go. But yeah. Dang it! That is such a hard little gap to convince yourself is okay to go through. The pogo is diagonal? What? I mean, I've been trying to avoid any Silksong gameplay so that way I can go into it fresh. I'll be curious how that plays. Because that sounds like it would be harder to control. I didn't think to ask. I went up to the Port Townsend Wooden Boat Festival today. That's why I didn't get the stream up until kind of late. Or the... Oh, goodness. Ah, goodness. Got the stream, like, posted, scheduled late. But I did see Mr. Skankenstein. Fair that is all I will say. We're still on 0, Grizz. Although I am trying Path of Pain again. We'll see. I don't know. I'm having a hard time just getting past the first part. So I might just ditch it and go get my nail upgrades. If I don't get any progress here in short order, then I'm probably just gonna go and do other productive things. Unless you want to count the environmental deaths, in which case, yeah, probably 23 at least. But yeah, Wooden Boat Festival, saw Skankenstein. What am I even doing? And he has supposedly downloaded Silk Song, so I don't want to get a spoiler from him, but I am curious to see what his thoughts are on it. Also, I need to watch, gosh darn it. K-pop Demon Slayer, Demon Hunter. K-pop Demon Hunter. Because apparently my wife had watched it without me, and now Foxman has been commenting on it. I don't know if Skank has played Hollow Knight, but I know that he bought and downloaded Silk Song, so I'm assuming that he did. Unless maybe he's just playing it so he can give spoilers on my stream. That would be a real dick move. No, I don't think he'd do that. There we go. Okay, that part's good. This part. Woo! There we go. Alright. These next couple of parts aren't so bad. It's really just the start and the very end. Wait, what? What? How you... Am I missing something? I'm definitely missing something. What am I missing? Peugeot's coverage was good enough. Grizz, I still think you should watch Has-Been Hotel. Like, I am promising you, you are missing something with it. Oh, man. Ah. It was funny, too, because one of the songs that got played at my brother's wedding was one of the songs from that show. So, and my wife was super into it, of course. Oh, come on. Does side attack get me an extra jump? Maybe. I think it does, actually. Yeah, you're right. It's not by a tranny, and it's not satanic in that way. I don't think it is, at least. I think it is dealing with some very serious issues of sentencing otherwise decent people to damnation by other people who are not... Okay, yeah, it needs to be a pogo. Are not really morally in the right. And yeah, maybe it's not great that we're doing it with, in a kind of a Luciferian context with Lucifer himself as one of the characters. Oh. I don't know what I was doing wrong before. YouTube is healing. That comment made it through the filter. Hooray! Is there something this way, or is it just the... Oh. Was there something the other way? I forget. Oh, that's right. That was the shortcut that I unlocked. And then I think this is the right way? Don't have a map. Is this the shortcut? I think this is the shortcut. Yep, this is the shortcut. Okay. Howdy, Ron. We're just chatting. I didn't have enough time or gumption to make a proper outline, so I've just been jamming on expendability from one of the comments I made on YouTube earlier this week. Good to hear. Good to hear that worship was good. Considering making a real video again, potential topics are Snatcher or John Brown. I don't think I know what you mean by either of those. Wait for the saw blade. No dying yet, Ron. Just environmental kerfuffles. You're welcome to come on if you want to hop in the gaming couch. Watch me die over and over again. Hopefully not to the same obstacles. Dang it. John Brown tried to end slavery in America the based way. Okay. Yeah, no, I know. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about now. Dang it. Howdy, Ron.
Hey, Houston, we have contact. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Just got done with worship and had an outstanding time. Praying for all of us hoodlums.
Hoodlums.
And, oh yeah, we are. We're fun though. We're fun hoodlums. Entertaining, at least. So yeah, this is now my Friday or Saturday night ritual. I get done with worship and then see how you are dying.
Have
So, how are you doing?
Have you fully recovered from Midwestuary?
You know, I had a blast, and I was tired, but I never got insanely exhausted, and that, and then I had such a good time. I really, it started with the picnic. I mean, it was, and then I think I've just been. For me, before getting there, all hell broke loose. That was the hard part for me. Like I had some kerfuffles in my life that were somewhat from a voice chat, and that I just took way too personally. And there was just the fear of going into Chicago, the big city, and driving. And when I got there, dude, it was game on. And it was, for me, it was like biking downhill the whole time. Though, I must say publicly, I thank God that you were sitting behind me when I got picked to give. Dude, I don't know what I've never had what's called an adrenaline dump. Where
Yeah.
I'm serious. When I put my name in there, ha ha ha.
Mm-hmm.
And the last person to get called is
Ron Copperman.
yeah. And like, I'm not kidding you. My heart went from 0 to the. I thought I was gonna. I'm like, I'm glad I'm in semi good health because I'm thinking I'm gonna have a heart attack if my heart goes any faster. Like, I don't know how many beats per second are fast, but it was like. And then, because all I wanted to do up there is go up there and go, Dr. Vervaeke,
Mm-hmm.
how do you know this demon isn't going to hurt you? And I'm like, oh, that's not going to work well.
How are you testing the spirits?
Yeah. Oh, dude, I just wanted to go like, okay, you're talking to a demon, but I'm like, this is not going to go well. Help me. And you framing it the way you did made all the difference. And then what helped as well is Ups giving me that joke. Because when you said it, I'm like, I'm never going to remember this. Pardon, Mr. Peugeot, pardon my French, but are you trying to make
Symbolism great again?
I'm like,
Yep.
yeah. I'm like, what kind of joke is this? I'm like, because I was in the middle of an adrenaline dump, so I was just lizard brain survival mode.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the comedy part had left the building.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got up there, I asked him the question, like, how do you discern a spirit? He gives his answer. And I realized I could either just say thank you or just open up a can of worms that's going to end badly.
Mm-hmm.
So I just said thank you. And then I remembered Upcycle's joke.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, wait a second, this could work. So, and I really didn't even understand the joke. I just did it out of obedience.
Well, it's just in reference to like make America great again, but make symbolism great again.
Yeah. Oh no, I mean I get it now, but
In the moment.
I didn't understand. Well, I didn't. What got me is because I did stand-up comedy a little bit in college.
Okay.
Wasn't that good, but once in a while I'd get a laugh, and I've learned if the audience is laughing, let them laugh.
Yep.
Like, and so when I said the joke from Ups, I'm like, all right, are you gonna make her, make symbology great again? They start laughing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I
had a good joke.
Like, yeah, exactly. Like, I'm like the little fat kid who swung the bat and it hit, and I'm like, okay.
My name's Ron Copperman, and I hit dingers.
That's it. Oh, wow, that hurt. It's true. It's true. I'm gonna use that. Oh, dude.
Have you seen that video, by the way?
No, I have not.
There's a chubby kid who did Little League and was at like the Little League World Series or something, and that was just like a meme unto itself for a little while. It was like, I forget what his actual name was, but it's like, my name's whatever, and I hit dingers.
Oh, dude, that's it. I was that little kid, and it was cool. Like, the audio up on stage was awful. You
couldn't hear each other.
Nope, because the house sound
drowned
was
it out.
louder. Yep, totally.
Spazzing.
Yeah. Are you spazzing?
No, I am a little bit spazzing, but it's also like the game is lagging randomly.
Oh. Is that okay?
It's a function of it's probably transitioning between two different parts of the level, and so like right there it just happens to be where it has to load more assets in or something.
Okay. Gotcha.
There we go. Got past it. Got past that part at least. Oh, come on, Pogo. Anyway, what did you think of Vervaeke's answer to your testing the spirits question?
Oh, it totally sucked.
Okay.
I think he's looking. And I like the guy, don't get me wrong. But he's looking... I want to put this in a hillbilly term that will express my concern for him. But he's looking to get an arse whooping that he doesn't even know is coming. Or even worse yet, he's getting pimped by a spirit that he thinks likes him. And I did talk to someone who's his buddy. I just don't use names. Okay, so I did talk to one of his buddies who is a good Christian. And I talked to him, and this person goes, "Oh yeah, it's a demon." I'm like, "Okay, this is interesting." And they go, "Well, God's going to use it because how did he put it? It was eventually, like, somehow God's going to do the judo throw on it, and so that it'll either be revealed or something bad will happen." And John, one way or another, John's going to figure that God will use it.
What
so
other
that
things
John
intend for evil, God will use for good.
Yeah. But I did talk with someone else in the TLC corner who's very smart. They were like, "That answer sucks." And I can't say I disagree with them, to be honest with you. And I feel weird not being the guy not saying the sky is falling, but I don't want to be the guy saying the sky is falling, because then you're just an alarmist or a...
Yep. When the sky isn't falling yet, it's hard to say that that's what's going to happen, especially when you don't know when it's actually going to fall.
Well, and in John's case, what it is what's the best science fiction movie I can think of? It's when you have an alien entity that you think you have control over, or like the movie Ex Machina, when it plays everybody. Huh?
I don't think I've watched Ex Machina.
Oh, okay.
What is it?
Yeah, that's the movie. Basically, well, I don't want to. Let me think. Well, actually, the movie Alien.
Yep.
The old ones.
Yep, I've watched that.
Okay, well, there's one where they capture an alien and they're going to bring it back to Earth to study it.
Yep.
And it winds up killing the people that were supposedly it's in control.
Yep.
I think John's dealing with a freaking spirit. Like, these things are smart. They love people like John. I'm not trying to be mean, but oh, dude, I don't know if it's pride or ignorance or both. And so here's the deal. He's talking to a demon. It's like every new age shaman wannabe who actually does this stuff, who comes to Christ, will say, "Oh yeah, this is an archetypical pattern. You'll do all the stuff. You'll do drugs and you do the occult, and eventually something shows up, and you're like, oh, I'm the guy." And then the spirit's going, "Yes, you are. You're in control. You're the grand poobah." And then, "Oh, by the way, do this, this, and this for me, and proclaim this gospel, or just start acting weird in a particular way." And I think the worst case scenario is when you just go, "Okay, I'm glad to help, and I'm happy to be here," because you don't know the eventual outcome, which is it's everything except Jesus. And this is where I guess I'm getting very, I don't know what you call it, dude. I'm asking to be defined here. It's like, if you are away from Jesus and you are worshiping everything except him, or if you're, well, at least for John right now, he's like, he would do, I think he'd rather chew his right arm off before talking about Jesus and really talking with him. And I could be wrong, but
No, that's probably right.
Okay, but when you wind up with the spirit, you get what that spirit is. Like you go for Team Jesus, you get Jesus. You go Team not Jesus, well, you can get that. You're allowed. And I'm not trying to be mean, but the end game will not be good for you. And in the meantime, well, for me, what John, and he said this from the stage, he doesn't care about what's going on inside of him internally. And I'm like, well, what the hell are you thinking, dude? Like, what kind, like, why are you doing this? And with me, with Jesus, the Spirit of God, it has been nothing but transformation. Stop smoking pot, make your room, be kind to those, bless those that curse you, pray for those who spitefully use you. Know that you're loved, and out of that overflow, love others, including your enemies. What's Hermes telling you? Do you understand?
Yep.
Is my rant making sense?
It is, but maybe I just haven't listened enough to him. What is Hermes telling him? He's talked a little bit about it, but like...
Well, actually, I think in some ways it might be beneficial. I know what I've heard John say is he doesn't feel alone in the universe. Like, that's a good thing. Like, that's, and I don't know what else Hermes has said. To be honest, I have to be fair to John. I'm not sure. So, but it's what he did say from the stage, and this is on tape. He said he really didn't care what was going on inside of him internally. Which maybe I should go listen to that again. But I'm thinking, dude, this stuff. Okay,
you gotta care.
What's that?
You gotta care.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it's all about. It's always been, at least for me, and I think in every religion, I could be wrong. It's about what goes on inside your head and heart.
Yep.
Buddhism, at least for Zen Buddhism, Soto Zen, detachment. Not giving right. And then.
Howdy Sinks Telon. Oh, they deleted their message. I don't think I'm familiar with that name, so we'll see if they stick around. And then, yeah, Grizz also made a point of, like, one of the things that Hermes had said was that he's on a dark road back to Christianity. And then he said, I'm missing out, and I'm not sure what that was in reference to. So, Grizz, if you could clarify, I would appreciate. But yeah. No, I don't know. Well, I'm curious to see what further comes out of that. But.
Well, and I but you asked me how I.
Well, here's a question. What did you think of Dreer's response? Because he also kind of answered the question.
I loved it.
Okay.
That was the best answer in that moment possible that I absolutely could not give. Because I'm not. He did what in a simple answer. He did good. I liked it because it wasn't Bible beating, but I think it was really well laid out. Just as far as a nice, basic, pretty deep. Solid understanding of how to deal with a spirit. Like. What do you think of it?
I thought it was good.
Yeah, cool.
Well, and especially the emphasis that he put on, like, it's not just spirits that you should be testing. Like, it's human relationships too, and the way that you test spirits should actually mirror pretty closely the way that you test your human relationships.
See, I didn't hear that part.
Okay.
But I like it.
I think I'm remembering that correctly.
No, you probably are.
Or that might have been for Vicky, actually. I'm not sure.
Well, here's the thing. That's what Vervaeke said about the spirits. Like, well, I see how they make me act and and I'm like, dude. haven't you ever gone to a bar, or you just, hey, drunk girl, I think you're cute.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that isn't a good way of saying, I don't want to just smash that. He has, go ahead, I'm sorry, go for it.
Well, I was just gonna say that, like,
Say it. Just say it.
I lost the train of thought.
Oh.
Especially, I read Grizz's comment and I'm like, I don't know what to do with that. Because I know what that's pointing to, and I don't know what to do with that. Anyway.
What's he pointing to?
Some behind-the-scenes drama that I don't really want to address.
Oh, alright.
Yeah.
Well, that's... So,
Although I probably should ping him about it in private now that... Okay, yeah.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
If I have a friend who does not confess Christ as Lord, that's not a problem. Oh no, not at all. Because what I'm talking about exclusively at this point is discerning of spirits. Now, see, if someone says they don't confess Christ, well, they're not a spirit; they're just a person.
Okay.
I might. So, I'm talking strictly like woo spirits. People, dude, I don't care if you're Buddhist. If you're nice, we'll hang out. Like there's, okay, I'll use her name, Clara. Clara is not religious. I think the world of her. She's a great person. I ain't got no problem with her. So, and that's what TLC has helped me with. I don't mind church folk, but I don't mind non-church folk either. So,
the way that because I had an offline conversation with I'm not gonna get his name wrong. I know his wife's name is Rebecca, and I'm trying to remember his name. Of course, I have streamer mode on. Miles Myers, I think.
Do I know him?
Probably not. He was somebody that we ran into at Midwestern that Neil in particular enjoyed talking with, and it's kind of like I have tried to help link them in with some folks in Oklahoma where they live.
Is that Miles and his wife?
Yep.
Yeah, I met him. Nice guy.
Yep. So I got to talk with them offline for a little bit the other day, and one of the things that I mentioned was like, within my sort of metaphysics cosmology, the main focus is of this life is to polarize either towards service to others or service to self. And as long as you're going towards service to others, then we're gravy. Like, my understanding is that we'll be able to figure out the rest of it at some point in the future. But that as long as that's the direction you're going, like, I don't have a problem with it.
Got ya. Well,
which is not the typical Christian notion of you must accept Jesus as your Lord and Savior in order to be saved, but I don't know. I don't find it completely incongruous. At least not from my end of it.
Right. So, because this is me being Jewish when I came to faith. I'm like, oh crap, there's a whole lot of people in trouble, especially my people. But the problem I have, and it's incredibly subjective, I say I met him by the Spirit, Jesus, by the Spirit, but to be honest with you, he's no one to toy with. No. So my experience is in some way subjective, but in another way, I'm like, dudes, you don't want to tangle with him, but he's nice. You know what I mean? So I'm trying to square this circle myself because I know for a fact, like, we haven't even talked about, dude, there's some stuff I can talk to you about from that's part of my testimony that for me is normal, but for other folks, for you and Grim and others, they probably enjoy it quite a bit. But it has to do with non-linear reality. And like, prophetic is the church term when the things of the future are revealed either in your present or long ago, and then they become revealed. So that happened in my life. And that's actually part of the reason any of it worked. And so God talked to me as a child before I even knew what the word saved was about or what I would need it. So he is incredibly, insanely merciful. He's competent and able, and I'm almost sounding like what's the predestination folks?
Calvinists?
Yeah, in some way I'm Calvinistic, but in other ways I'm like, dude, you only got right now, don't screw with it. And it's not either or, it's both and. But because I've met him, I can't like, I'm working this out with you guys. Like, I like everybody here, I mean, so
I didn't know it had structure.
If it comes down, I think Luke would say it's propositional tyranny when you say to someone, you have to say, confess Jesus as Lord or die. Okay, so, and I'm working with your do good to others thing, because I think that is the right road, and I think it's easier for him to talk with you. And the fact that you're even talking with me and I'm rambling on like, dude, he's real, you might want to talk with him. These are seeds. You know what I mean? Like, some people come to him by stick. That was me. Like, screw you, Jesus. I don't like you. I was Cartman, but when I met him, like, oh, dang, I missed you. I knew you when I was a kid, and now we're back, and now we're friends. So I don't know. I know that the scripture Romans is like, you confess Jesus believe in your heart, confess with your mouth. Now, the thing is, the only reason I would say, yeah, I'd have to agree with that, is my experience, and then the word says it. Now, is there mercy for others who don't say it, but yet, before the sinner's prayer ever existed, they just said, yeah, okay, so, all right, this Jesus thing, I'm in. Like, I don't know what words, and I feel like I'm not getting anywhere.
Well, I mean,
maybe I'm not.
I think at least getting across the point of like, well, I don't know actually, because this was something also that kind of came up when I was talking with Miles, was just this notion of like, the reason why evangelicals will do kind of a hard sell with a lot of people is because if you're operating from within that paradigm, then like, that person's soul is at stake. Like,
yep. Yeah.
If I cannot help you, then there is a great possibility that you die in a car accident on the way home, and then you go to hell. And I like you as a person, and I don't think that you deserve hell, and so I want to make sure that doesn't happen to you.
That's exactly it. Yes.
But that's not really a very effective way of bringing somebody to the faith.
It's not a good way to sell a product.
No.
I agree with you 100%. Now, let me just give you my opinion, and I will, he actually works more by love than anything I've ever seen.
Mhm.
And Chicago proved that to me when I met Sandy Bassey's friend. I forget his name, I'm sorry, but he was an economist. And he said he was doing, he did the whole Jesus thing a little bit, I think, because his either wife or girlfriend was into going to church. And he was just doing it because he's like, hey, I love her, so I'm going to go. And he was doing his economist thing, and he worked on a global level. And he would say, as an example, he would see a fire in Africa on a crop that would affect beer prices in Germany because it was a product they used or something like that. And he said he started seeing it all over the world, like all these, the confluence, the dance, so to speak. He goes, there was just a moment one day when he goes, I saw it, like the pattern. He goes, I knew there was a God. I knew it was real. Now, here's the thing. One, God used numbers, which is really mind-blowing for me, but after the conference, I realized he does that with a lot of people. But secondly, it was his spirit talking to this fellow that really did the trick, because nobody comes to God unless he's talking with you. And rarely, my case was, if I didn't turn, I was going to die. I was the guy who actually needed the evangelical turn or burn, because I was
About to OD or do something stupid.
Exactly. Exactly. I was, the bridge was going to run. I was on a dead end road with a bridge that was out, and I was punching it. So for the most part, I hate the evangelical turn or burn, but sometimes it's needed. Not often, but I think most of the time it is God's love that draws, because it really is His goodness that draws. I think there's original goodness in people, and when you meet God, it's the original goodness cup in your heart, that parts that holds it, that once he touches that part of your heart, you're like, oh my gosh, I've missed you so much. Then it becomes easy. And you're like, oh, okay, this is good. It's like, maybe Plato's cave, when you see the sun for the first time, or grass, and so being a good person, I think you're on the right track. And so instead of me saying turn or burn, I'd say, well, I'll tell you what, why don't you just ask him to show up? It might be that you feel like you're talking to the wind, and in some ways you will be, because it will be raw faith. It'll feel dry. But dude, you're going to feel like an idiot the first time you talk to him, because everything in the world is telling you he's not real and he's fake.
I mean, that's not really my concern so much. I definitely see enough to believe that there is a real influence there. I am just messing up.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know.
Well, what we were talking about, because we were talking about Verbeke and his answer and discerning the spirit, and then Grimm's talked about people, and people are different from spirits, and that spirits, they're either, in my opinion, they either are good or bad. There ain't no in between on that one. So that's why I think there's even more, people you could at least get to know, and you can run away. Spirits,
They'll follow you.
Dude, it's like for me, it's like watching the worst sci-fi possible, where you have the kind dopey doctor who brings the creature to life, or at least, maybe not to life, but just, hey, I found this ancient thing, and it says, what's in script, what's in scripture? It says, "Come into my parlor," said the spider to the fly. That's kind of what I think's going on. And if it's when it's a New Age shaman, it's one thing. But Vervaeke touches a big community, and it's like a virus. It's like a Western virus to a foreign land. It can just tear through, but that's just that's me. No, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm open to listening to others.
Well, here's a question for you.
Push back, but even in his community, I'm like, okay, so you guys have read enough. Yeah. Are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Question for you.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Do all people who claim the name of Jesus actually operate for him?
Hell no.
So how?
Oh no. I'm sorry.
No. You're 100% right. Like it's more of a rhetorical question than anything else. But it's like, given that that's the case, and this goes pretty hard with me trying to get Grizz to watch Has Been Hotel. It's like, okay, you have people who very clearly should not be representing, but claim to be representing Jesus or God or what have you.
Sure.
And so, how do you deal with that? How do you especially if you're trying to discern,
get some of the boys,
what is it that's different between?
I'm sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say, what's the difference between humans and spirits, where you can tell a spirit proclaim Jesus as Lord or be gone, and that works, but you can't seemingly do that with a human. Like the human can declare Jesus as Lord and not actually be a good guy. Yeah. Like why would that not be the same case for spirits? I guess. Why is that the gold standard of tests? Is it just that they have a harder time lying, or what's the...
Okay, good point. So, I don't know... Okay. Well, maybe, but so let's take this apart, or reverse engineer it. That's the right term. Jesus said that's the way it works. He said... the reason you go, did Jesus come in the flesh, is because if he did, that means he can't. And this is that means for everyone listening, this is a Christian perspective. If Jesus came in the flesh, that means Satan has been defeated. That sin has been conquered. The error of Adam and Eve has been rectified. So so you're asking me, why can't spirits lie? Is that's correct?
A big part of it, yeah. I mean, there's more to the question than just that, but that's a good way of attacking the question. So.
Yeah, okay. So let's just go with, first off, as a person, as a human being, I don't know. But you ask a good question. So Jesus said, and I'll use Paul and all the other guys as accurate and correct information. So if they say this is the gold standard, all right, you're the engineer. What does that mean? Assume it's true and tell me why. You can, by drawing the outline of a shadow, you can tell the space it's occupying.
Well, I would
So-
assume that there are a lot of spirits for which that is true, where it's like there's something about making that declaration that has some sort of significant impact. Alright, Grizz is yelling at me. Okay, I'll give it 3 more tries, Grizz, and if I can't get it in that, then we'll go do something else. But yeah, so that there's something about making that declaration that it's not just about lying or telling the truth, that there's some deeper spiritual nature or reality that's associated with it.
Okay. Right.
And that's actually, like, it's... You're not going to like how I phrase this, but so I apologize in advance. But basically, that declaring Jesus as Lord functions as a sort of a spell, and that
Okay.
you're like, by saying that there is
Okay.
a spell being cast, and they can't, like, something about that. Okay, we'll call it quits. We'll go do something else, because yeah.
I'm not watching the video. Is it going badly for you?
I'm stuck on the same place that I
Is
was
it-
at the end of last stream, and I'm not making any progress. So we're gonna go look
Move
for
along.
nail materials instead. So
Cheat.
well, I wanted to give it one more try. Maybe I'll get it someday. But yeah, that would be
Yeah. No.
like me steel manning
By
that.
the way, your term
My term.
doesn't bother me.
Okay. Why
Okay,
why doesn't it bother you? I thought it would bother
let's
you.
say, okay. Oh no, nah, because I know you, and the curious thing. Oh, you want to hear a mind blower?
Okay.
Okay, so before I was Jesus Ron, I was shaman Ron.
Mhm.
Don't squeeze. It was or wannabe shaman, and I was hanging out with real native folks and doing real ceremonies, and I had a real vision.
Mhm.
This is before Jesus,
Mhm.
and when what brought me to faith is God actually used part of the vision I had
Mhm.
with the native folk. So, and also, it's your language doesn't confuse me or bother me because I know what you're trying to say. So God, and also when I came to faith, I used a Buddhist mantra kind of a thing, but I unplugged Buddha and plugged in Jesus, and that's after doing that I had my Shazam moment. So
Mm.
it's
Mm.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not so much you meet people where they're at. And is this making sense?
Yes.
So when you say spell, dude, I got yeah, so yes. So you're fine. So let's go with
Okay.
Jesus is Lord is the ultimate spell. How's that?
Okay.
And so if
Why
it's,
that?
well, now that okay, then a why would be he is the one. He is the like Neo is the one. Like he's it. He's the grand poobah. He's a number one. He is the prime mover.
Mhm.
He's the one that moves the movers. And so let's just say he is unique in and of himself. That's why.
Okay.
So with that out the way, getting back to spirits, you have other spirits that go, no, I really don't want to hang out with you.
Mhm.
And we're out, and we know the consequences of our actions. But by the way, we saw these things called people that you like, and because you don't like us, we don't like them. We really don't care about them. But we're going to cause them as much problems as possible before the time clock runs out.
Mhm.
Now, we can't lie, but they can. Or no, wait, that's wrong. Because they're always lying.
Wait, is it? Ooh, okay. But
I
there's
messed that one up.
oh, okay. There's different kinds of lies. There's different kinds of lies. They can
Mm,
only
for spirits, I'm talking about spirits,
yeah, but that's
demons.
what I mean for like because from what my understanding is like there's definitely um hmm hmm
Other why there are no, well, there are different levels of demons. You have, it's like angels. You got your foot soldiers, then you have your
hmm
special, whatever it is in the military. It's the same thing on both sides. So you might have different levels of ability of lying, but one side will always lie. Will rob, kill, and destroy, lie, stuff
well
like that.
but
Yep.
okay so the thought that
Hmm.
I'm having is that there is a cost associated with lying and that
Okay.
um they they only lie when it's worth bearing that cost is the thought
Maybe.
that I'm having.
Okay, but when let's, if you could help me understand, when I'm listening, that doesn't, that's interesting. There's a cost, I'll give you that. Yeah. And so, okay, let's say with Hermes.
Mm-hmm.
Hermes, it can say he's a spirit, because he is. Um, I'll be honest, when he did say here on a dark road to Jesus, that did confuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Not in a bad way either. That, um, but here, okay, so with Adam and Eve being the best example, or Genesis being the one of the good examples of Satan, is he can tell some of the truth.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it's not in his favor to tell all of the truth ever. He has to have enough truth out there to make it work.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always going to be a hook. So when you said a cost, I don't know if I'm actually helping you out on that one.
Well, let me
Um,
just read out
mhm.
what Foxman and Chris Howard have been saying in the chat because I think it's pretty helpful.
All right.
So
All
Foxman
right.
says Jesus is one of the only essential words in the Jesus prayer. Yahweh as ruler of Elohim. Why did he share his name with humanity? And then to say Jesus is Lord is to surrender to Christ. And then Chris replying, you can acknowledge
Ooh.
without surrender, but that would amount to self-condemnation.
Huh. Okay. Well, alrighty. So how does this work with what you're thinking and ruminating on?
I mean, it's tangential to what I'm ruminating on, but still I think relevant. Because that's would be like how it functions as a spell is like if there's a cost
Mhm.
to lying,
Oh.
then the cost like if you were to say Jesus is Lord and surrender to him or like try and do that but refuse to do that, then the cost would be so great that it would be almost unendurable.
Let's actually push that out, saying that it's already, that already happened.
Mm-hmm.
That, because I think you actually, I think the moments the angels, whatever you want, the fallen angels said no,
Mm-hmm.
they already paid the cost.
Mm-hmm.
They're already suffering it. It's just hasn't been complete. It's not complete yet.
Mm-hmm.
They're already,
It's in the accounts payable. It hasn't been paid out, but the debt is still there.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And the consequences of it. Um, anyhow, but no, I think that just answered part of your question,
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I think so too.
Huh. This is helpful because I've never had anyone ask. You know, that's hilarious. I love it. No, it's a good question though. Like, how, what can demons lie about saying Jesus is Lord?
Well, and the reason it
Um,
resonates with me is because like they're like you can lie as a human and there's costs to lying, and a lot of them are kind of hidden costs that you're not necessarily aware of until the bill comes due. Speaking from experience
yeah,
on that one. And so it's like
yeah.
that would make a lot of sense to me if on more than just like the like physical or like interpersonal trust level, that there's actually some sort of a spiritual cost associated with lying.
Well, I think I now this isn't so much a lie. Well, yeah, I mean, okay, for people, a spiritual cost there is one
Mm-hmm.
that causes a separation with God.
Mm-hmm.
That's all sin is, from what I understand. Sin means to miss the mark when you do things that are not uh, godly. That's not a good word at this moment. When you don't do things that okay. When you do things that are not in your original good nature,
Mm-hmm.
lying being one of them, it puts you back in a nature that is not your original nature, original goodness. So Jesus is the restoration to original goodness.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is me talking. This is not doctrine, but we are being restored to original value, which
Mm-hmm.
was or relationship rather, beloved. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we Adam walked with God in the cool of the day. I mean, so with Jesus, we are now able to walk with God in the cool of the day, but not having God around us. Not that he doesn't show up, but we can actually have him in and with us all the time. So it's actually an upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
So when you do something that is sinful, you know, to miss the mark, not your original God goodness, it takes you out of the bullseye. So you are separated from God not by his will, but by our actions. And then it is the Jesus. Actually, it's
The christened one, the Christ.
and I'm just goofing around, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's Jesus that because of his actions, it's, yeah, there might be that whole penal substitution, but it's actually redemption and restoration. So I wonder, and I'm asking you, if demons say Jesus is Lord, for some, it's got to be painful for them because they can't get back to original value, original relationship. For whatever reason, they don't get a second chance, a do-over. So,
Again, I
mhm.
don't think that's necessarily the case. But
Well, I just give me within the limitations of my. Okay, I'm listening to you. Sorry.
no,
What is?
no, if you have objections, please raise them. But what I mean with that
No,
is like
well, yeah, go for it.
that's kind of the issue that gets brought up with Hasbin Hotel is like, okay, you fucked up in life. It doesn't matter how much contrition you have. It doesn't matter, or how does it go? Oh no. Wait, do I want to try and actually do it? I can't. I don't know the line well enough to do it. But basically, there's a line that one of the characters in the show says that's like, the chance that they had was on Earth. And their punishment is this. Sinners can't be redeemed, and this is like one of the demons saying that is like, of course we can't be redeemed. Like what a silly notion.
Right.
And his whole purpose of like wanting to participate is that he just wants to watch sinners. He wants to watch damned souls try and make themselves better and fail because he thinks it'll be entertaining.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Sure.
And so it's like that's been something that that was part of the reason that I was so attracted to the show was like, oh, this gal is like really trying to deal with some stuff that is very, very serious problems as far as like theology and how to engage between because this is something that like I've seen with a lot of people is that you have somebody who gets raised in a very conservative environment and then they rebel and then they go and they do dumb stuff. And then because of the perspective that was given to them from that conservative environment, their belief is that, well, I'm damned anyway, so I may as well aim down.
Right. Gotcha.
And it's like, I think that is, like, especially if we're believing that humans are always able to be saved at any point in their life, like, that's such an unhealthy, unhelpful belief. But one that is strongly promulgated.
Oh, the referee's just all through a flag.
Okay, go for it.
The yellow is good. Oh my gosh.
Go for it.
And replay the tape on that one, because I want to make sure I'm judging you correctly. But can you repeat that last statement about, please, because my brain just popped.
Okay. So you have individuals who are raised in very conservative environments.
Yeah.
Who believe
and they aim down.
And they aim down, like as a consequence of the like people that they believed were good. I
agree with that.
And who they were told throughout all their lives, like, these are good people and you're hurting them. And it's like, well, if they are the good people and I hurt them, and they're telling me that there's no chance for me to be redeemed, then I guess there's no chance for me to be redeemed, and I shouldn't even bother trying, and in fact, I should just lean even harder into hedonism or other destructive tendencies.
Okay. Now, the reason I was throwing the flags, and I might, because whoever said, or whoever is saying, you can't be redeemed, they're the ones that are wrong.
Agreed.
You can be redeemed. Okay, sorry.
Like, no, I don't think that. I don't think that.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yep. No, you're good. I appreciate the clarification, because if you got confused by it, then it's super easy or super likely that somebody else got confused by it too.
Well, okay, so let me get this straight. So you have Johnny doing drugs.
Mm-hmm. Well, so Johnny's parents are super religious conservative people.
Right.
And they tell Johnny, if you do drugs, you're going to hell. And Johnny goes and does drugs because his friends say, oh, come on, man, you should just try it. And then he gets in bad with them, and then his parents find out, and his parents say, well, Johnny, you're going to hell.
Okay.
You're cut off. We're going to disown you from the family because we don't want you to be a bad influence on any of our other kids.
Right.
So out you get.
Right. Okay, so now that's wrong. Okay, I got you. There's always redemption. Mm-hmm. Always.
Well, and I agree that it's wrong, but there's a lot of people that I think are dealing with that kind of, like, they have that belief system in their mind, and they don't know how to overcome that without just leaning into the demonic.
Okay, see, now that's actually Dr. John Vervaeke.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not so much he did drugs, but he's like, I don't want to deal with this crazy, and I'm out. But so what you're dealing with in that case is just a wound of the heart.
Mm-hmm.
And...
But how do you heal that wound of the heart rather than letting that be an attack surface for a demon to come in and be like, yep, those Christians, they're never going to forgive you, so you should listen to me.
Actually, I love the way you put that. An attack surface. Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. All sin is an attack surface.
Yep.
Okay. That's excellent. what happens for someone, because I think actually I'm very similar to to John Vervaeke.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is that to heal that,
Mm-hmm.
you actually have to meet a real Christian who embodies Christianity properly
Mm-hmm.
and can actually speak to that wound to say, yeah, you were wrong, and they were wrong in how they acted, but you need to realize they really weren't representing Christianity well,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe not at all.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, to someone, and you know this because I've told you and other people, the atomic weapon against Satan and for healing and towards healing is forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
If you can help them to forgive,
Mm-hmm.
because you said healing, okay. Even if you're not saved or don't want to be cool down with Jesus, if you can help someone just to forgive and understand forgiveness, that I think does an amazing job at healing. And then to really heal the wound, this would go towards Christianity. This is going to be, no, just be blunt. It is when you tell them, yes, you were wronged. Good job on forgiving. But as you forgive, you are forgiven.
Mm-hmm.
And the acceptance God has towards his son Jesus is now in and with you
Mm-hmm.
as you walk with Jesus. And that love is very supernatural. This is a spirit. There is a spirit of Jesus. It's not intellectual, and it is all powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And once you meet something that is all powerful and loving, everything else pales in comparison, every hurt, and it makes what you've gone through to get to that experience worthwhile. It gives your pain and suffering a frame that encompasses it, recognizes it, and then by the love you experience, heals it. That's been the process that I've experienced somewhat, and I've seen in others.
Well, and that no one else can damn you, that you can only damn yourself.
I think that's about it. Absolutely. Yeah, that's absolutely true. There's nobody can do it.
Well, so other people
I've
can
known.
curse you. Also, hi Luke, just
Oh,
to
yeah.
get that out of the way.
Oh, yeah, and they can lie to you.
Well,
Oh, by the way, Grim's right.
which the
Sorry.
sissies not doing? Oh, the moon looking good, or the sissies jerking off to porn?
What? What?
Also, yes.
I didn't. What the heck? I missed something here.
Just go back up in the chat, like a couple messages.
Should I? Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. We'll see. But
Just saying, like, Johnny's getting kicked out of the house not for doing drugs, but watching sissy porn and wearing his younger daughter's dress.
oh God. Yeah, there you go.
Or maybe not
that
even getting
works.
kicked out, just, doing weird
Yeah.
things.
Well, you know what? Some of the smart people in here have some of the best bad humor. Just, it's pretty bad.
It's so fun, isn't it?
It is. It's entertaining. It is. I ain't gonna kid you. My friends in Ohio are like that. They're brilliant in crafts.
Well, the thing with being crass is there's ways to do it that are constructive. And it's not...
Yeah.
It's not trivial to do that.
No.
Like, it's easy,
No.
way easier to be crass in a way that's just nasty, destructive, or hurtful.
Right. No. But when it can be godly, then it's the best.
Mm-hmm.
I think, when he's ever around, the Spirit of God, I watch my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this is after hours. We're on
This is
okay. We're in the basement playing video
Oh,
games.
man.
The parents don't. They're not surprised.
The parents have gone to
The kid
bed. Everybody else,
That's
the
it.
chaperones are gone.
Yeah, there's no real damage. Just the occasional blue comment is out. So, it's interesting. This conversation, the one thing. So there's two things maybe, but how do you know demons can't lie about Jesus? Because I can give one. This is.
Well, that was like what I'm getting is like they can, but they really don't want to because doing so puts them in a really tough bind.
I wonder if they, in some reason, I'm not pushing back against what you're saying. When, like, I've dealt with demons a few times, by the way, I don't like it and I don't look for it. It's more like, okay, it's here. Let's deal with it.
Also,
funny.
Slack made a good point of it's all fun and games until After Dark PVK shows up.
Yeah.
When the chaperone turns into one of the crazy boys.
Yeah, that's about it. That's it. No, then, yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I just thought that was really
No, somebody saved the stream. So it's, well, for me, what it is, it's interesting. Everything spiritually runs, the spiritual realm runs exclusively on faith. I'm working this one. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things yet not seen. Also, the Word of God, the way you get faith is by the Word of God, because that's what the Bible says. So, and then Jesus says His words are true.
awesome.
So
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna try and let the dog in and see if she will behave herself. I'll be back.
yeah, then.
You're gonna behave yourself or you're gonna board me? Alright, and we're back.
All right.
Oh, we got Neil.
More than just me incoming. Beware.
Mr. Daedalus.
Hello, hello.
What's
I
happening
think
here?
we're gonna have some conversations.
About...
I don't know what about it's going to happen.
Okay. Also, I haven't said it to them because I had a chance to talk with Miles and Rebecca, and one of the questions that came up was if I wanted to do their rando, and I was thinking about it more, and I'm like, no, if anyone's going to do a rando with you, it should be Neil. And I have not messaged them yet, so if y'all are watching, do it with Neil, otherwise I'll message you later and tell you that you should do it with Neil.
Well, Miles is one of the ones that's probably going to pop in, but I think they're going with Seabax, who's
Okay.
yeah, he's the professional. So
He is. He did
Yeah.
mine. Well,
But
actually, Chad technically did my first rando, and then Seabax did my more professional rando.
that's right. I remember that. And then you were part of the original Zoomer combo.
Mm-hmm. The OG.
OG Zoomers.
Bunch of kids. Bunch of dang kids.
Let me go summon the stragglers. Be right back. Oh, that wasn't the straggler.
Oh, we got a Noah.
Oh,
And we got a Skank.
we got another. Build them up. Build them up.
Shouldn't you be camping, sir?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
I am almost. So I had to find a dry table to restock my bag. So I have not made it back to the campsite yet. But that's
Okay.
we're
Be right
getting
back.
We're getting there. I'm doing. Yeah, I've got like 45 minutes of just very tedious balloon folding work.
Okay. By the way, when I was watching you earlier, like, do you like inflate them after braiding them? Like, how does that work?
Were you watching me braid those 3 balloons?
Yep.
Is that what you saw?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh no, that was just that. That was just the chain that I make. So I keep my hand pumper tied to my kick, and the chain broke. So and it's just 3 balloons. So I was rethreading a new chain, which I guess you probably did. Which that is like one of like the 3 things most people find interesting in comment. Oh, you've got a balloon rope. Like, yeah, it's the tool at hand. So I'm rethreading a new chain.
TLC is a movable feast, says Marquez. Amen.
And apparently we lost one Klingon, I guess. Hi, Mark.
Oh wait, I gotta. Can we extend an invite to Miles to your server?
Oh,
I gave
yes,
it one.
of course.
You should have
One
it.
moment.
Yeah, no, I dropped one. I dropped one in the chat before I came over. Is he out still?
Oh, he says he's an athlete.
Yeah, I have to take
Doesn't
him out of baby
see-
jail.
Oh, he's good. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I have appeased the king. I've whispered sweet nothings to assuage any concerns.
Let's
Please, sire.
see here.
It was Brenda now if you wanted to.
Member
Let's
Jones.
rando.
Oh,
Let's haze them, boys.
Haze them.
hang on one second.
No
I
hazing.
gotta drop an image in the chat here, Foxman. So I was walking by, and I saw this on the ground, and I'm like, I literally played Silk Song for 45 minutes, and I'm like, I need to stop and grab these. These are important.
Wait, now I'm...
I just dropped an
Ooh,
image,
oh, yeah.
right? I'm like, these are. I need to get my compass.
I just got a rosary, another one, because my first one broke. So...
Like, aren't you supposed to break them to send them?
supposed to break them to
There
life.
he is.
There we
collect
go.
them.
Yeah. Like you break. If you get
Bingo.
the rosary, you break.
Oh,
it,
I'm
so
in
you-
IRL.
I got one too, and I did also break mine. But it wasn't the punk mosh pits that broke it. It survived 2 days at Punk in the Park. Poor Jesus had to go through this massive like meta shift because I went to go see the final night of Punk in the Park. The final 2 headliners were Dropkick Murphys, followed by Bad Religion. So I went from wearing a rosary and being like, when Dropkick Murphys plays, oh, this is just like pure like a cultural product. This is like sincere culture. This is great. And then they leave. Bad Religion comes on. And they're like, oh, now my rosary is iconic all of a sudden. Poor Jesus getting whiplash.
That conversation happened quickly.
You gotta keep up, man.
What's up,
Gotta
guys?
collect the rosary beads.
Not too much, Mouse. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm tired, but I've been re-energized by jumping into the chat tonight.
Af, you get to pitch first. What do you want us to talk about?
Oh, we're doing.
No. I mean,
Let's see.
make it big, sure, but we don't need to formalize it.
Let's talk about dementia, guys. All right, Noah, what do you think of dementia?
Dementia?
Dementia sucks.
Why? Not a fan.
Hey, I say, don't
I mean-
catch it.
Don't.
Yeah, if you run fast enough, you'll never get to it. Because you'll probably have a heart attack before you get that old.
Not allowed to joke about dementia. Okay, next topic.
Just don't get it in the first place.
Why on earth do we have stuff at marriages where we're having 2 people come together and make very significant vows to each other, and then proceed to go play pop music that functions as cultural poison and dance to it and have a good old debauched time right after?
It's the
Why
it's
did
carnival.
Jesus make the wine? You know.
Ah,
There's a difference between having wine to enjoy wine and drinking yourself into a stupor.
I think you need to read that section again. There's some controversy there.
Is there?
The guy who's hosting the wedding feast says, normally where we save we have the best wine first, and then everybody's too drunk to notice.
Yep.
But this time, the best wine is last.
Yep.
But it doesn't mean that not there could have been some people who were still out of it, but maybe they might have missed the good wine. So I think there is a conversation to be had there.
Okay.
and what about people that are used to Jewish wine culture? So they know that when the last jugs are rolled out, you can go like balls to the wall because it's the weak sauce.
It's
Like, is Jesus materially enabling their alcoholism?
Unless you run out
Also
of
was
oil,
fused.
in which case you're locked out into the outer darkness where there's weeping and gnashing of teeth. But good grinding.
Go between those teeth.
grinding of teeth. Or grinding on the dance floor. Those are two very different things.
That's
Both? Not mutually,
Not mutually
exclusive.
one leads to the other, sir.
Oh man. Is that the mating ritual from where you're from, Skank? You just grind your teeth at the person aggressively and that communicates that you're interested in that?
I think that might explain why I'm still single, guys.
This clown is a little normal.
I remember reading a commentary for Dante's Inferno, and there's this part where like everybody's in the poop river.
Yeah. Which part? There's two. I can't.
There's just one of them. I don't remember which one, but there's a description of a woman whose like hair is matted in feces. And I'm so sorry for people
and
who are
there's
just
a guy-
on the stream, but and there's a commentary I read.
Go on.
And in the commentary, they're like, Dante is sexualizing this woman, and I'm like, I don't think that's what's going on here. I have a feeling that
Thou dost protest too much, commentator.
you might be showing your hand a little too much there.
No. I do remember. I think I'm thinking of the same part. There's also somebody who's literally like hopping in and out of the river of feces like a dolphin. I believe the word dolphin is used.
Oh, okay. And
Is anybody joining
Gale
Gale
at
at Gale's party?
Bacchus at this point?
I mean, probably. I mean, there's like.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, forgot. Oh my gosh, I have new colors. Periwinkle blue, boys.
Better than a poop
Periwinkle
color.
blue.
Guys, I gotta go
What
to
is that?
sleep.
Periwinkle blue what?
Blues.
Good night.
Night, Ron.
And
Good night, Ron.
Milk Midnight Gray.
Go in peace.
Sorry about that. What I miss?
Oh, Ron left.
Okay.
And we were talking about Dante's Inferno
Poop
and
dolphin.
Dante's Inferno and
the poop river.
the poop river.
And the poop dolphin.
You can't forget
Yeah,
it.
you guys should read more classic literature.
God.
And I'm not sure if that is before
Actually,
or
that's
after
my
the
favorite.
part where the one demon makes a trumpet out of his ass. That's also in there.
Talk about flatulence.
This is just Inferno too, right? Like I think there's just so much cultural kind of focus on it. I still haven't even gotten to the other parts of Dante's Divine Comedy. I'm sure there's other good stuff there, but
They get less funny, I will say. But
yeah.
I'm taking
You know.
Gale's class on it.
Ooh.
yeah, you in there too?
I was thinking about joining
Yeah.
that.
It's
Do you
only
see
like
that-
it's not extremely expensive, or it wasn't for me.
Mhm.
It was very
You guys ever-
attainable. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
If you want to be
Yeah.
midweek study buddies, friend me and hit me up.
What is that one, Neil?
Rabelais?
Probably.
Rabelais is early 1500s. Yeah, 1483 to 1552. A feast of wisdom and laughter. Realism intertwines with carnivalesque fantasy, Renaissance learning with obscene humor to make readers look at the world afresh. Pantagruel, a tale of comic chivalry, satirizes lawyers, theologians, and academic buffoons, while Gargantua mocks rash generals, idiotic monarchs, and uncouth professors. It champions freedom and laughs at a dirty young giant before he turns into a splendid prince. It's I don't know, it's the original Renaissance toilet humor, but it's this long. So
I just bought a play by like a Catholic poet. It's her second play in a trilogy where Rabelais is a character, and I think the first one was like a locked room detective story with 3 characters. One of the 3 characters outside of Rabelais was John Calvin. And I'm not sure if the second one is also a detective story, but I'm very excited for it. It's I pre-ordered it. It's coming in October, if not early.
All right, maybe we can graduate past the excrement. You're not ready?
I was going to go back to Kale's class. Did you see that he was he was trolling back and forth on Twitter posts with Milo?
Is Milo actually going to join that class?
Let's just say that there's behind the scenes stuff that might hint that maybe something is moving over there, which is wild.
Milo has access to that class. Like, he's aware of it. He's been personally invited and responded to that personal invite in a non-committal way at this point.
Glad I'm not on Twitter.
I got a like from Tobuscus.
I don't know who that is.
Who that is either? Yeah.
The Minecraft YouTuber, the classic one.
I thought that was Etho.
Etho is also one, but I'm guessing this is somebody else.
Tobuscus was one of the ones who made like a lot of music videos back in the day for Minecraft, like parody songs and stuff.
Was that like with Jordan Marin, Captain Sparkles, or was that like separate from?
I think it was probably separate from.
Okay.
But it was just some nonsense.
Mm.
Let's pitch. Let's do something.
Well, I mean, I gave my pitch. What do you guys have to say? It's
a good pitch.
What was that again?
His pitch?
Imbibing cultural poison as part of a wedding celebration.
Oh.
I mean, I think it's topsy-turvy carnival time. Marriage is the union at high order, and the reception is the inverse, the outer courts.
Okay.
It's you participate in the platonic heavenly ideal, and now you begin the process of the very fleshly activity of making babies.
I guess. I don't know. I still am not liking it that much.
I mean yeah.
I might be just a curmudgeon.
We're not at the answer round. We're still at the pitching round.
Pitch. Miles, you're next in the order on my screen, so you go next.
Junkies. McMo was right.
You can just have a conversation without doing estuary, right? This is something that's been talked about a few times.
So
yeah, no, but estuary formalizes the framework.
It does.
Yeah, but we don't need to.
I thought Kale did.
I want to do it for Miles. Okay, we're gonna do estuary.
So there was actually a really
like 3 days of this. He's a pro.
I had there was something that got brought up at Elsnet this week that I thought was really good, which was I forget who it was, but they made the distinction between the estuary protocol and then estuary itself, where it's like the protocol is setting up the conversation, but the actual estuary itself is the ensuing conversation that happens after the protocol. And so the thought that kind of came with that was like, oh, you can just like jump right in if everybody is like good with just jumping into a conversation, because the estuary is mainly just to help set things up so that way you make sure people are taking even turns of conversation and passing the conversational ball to each other. And so it's not really like, this wasn't something that came up like during that conversation, but my reflections afterwards, it's like, oh, you can just like do estuary without doing the protocol first if everybody involved kind of knows what's up.
I think that's not a bad kind of framing. I think the one thing what is important is the protocol is important to emphasize when you're integrating new members.
Yes.
I mean, think of some of our struggles with the Torah of estuary, like application in our estuary in the past couple of months. And I really think part of it is old guard, who have been doing this together for 5 years, being like, we know how this is. We've got the good instinct for having a conversation. We're like, y'all are just being rude, it feels like.
Especially if you have... Well, it's helpful, too, because if you have a conversational dynamic between a bunch of people already, it can be hard to integrate somebody else into that conversational dynamic.
That's true. I think that another thing it does is that it broadens potential outcome. Right? Because if we just jumped in on the suggestion of imbibing poisonous culture in marriage ceremony, in marriage ritual, we have kind of a direction we're going. But if we have different things on our minds, then we kind of set the table for like where the potential, where the conversation could go.
Well, and I think the important thing too with that is that, like, if the people who are participating don't necessarily know what might be on other people's minds, or people don't necessarily feel comfortable, or like they're debating whether they should share a particular thing, like the pitch round gives them an opportunity, even if you are with people who are familiar with each other, to kind of like formally put something out there that they might otherwise not, especially if it's not something that is going to naturally flow from the existing conversation.
On Google Meet, they have the little thumbs up icons. If I had one in Discord, I'd give you one.
Oh, that's right. That's on Zoom. I do love to abuse those in family Zoom chats.
I've got
Dancing Turkey is my favorite. Pitch away. No
Mine's,
batter.
Mine's somewhat estuarial. Okay, here's my pitch, but I gotta expand on it slightly. As the TLC grows in prominence or importance or value, or another way of thinking about that is there is inherent hierarchy or value in being part of the body. Are there lines that, if crossed, should ostracize someone from that community? Now, historically speaking, in TLC, it's been very difficult to do. It hasn't happened because every channel operates by its own rules. Certain people have been banned from various channels, but have been welcomed on other channels. So there hasn't been a common mechanism for enforcement, and PVK's made it clear he's not enforcing something like that. And I don't think we even have the tool set to really enforce it. But as the social bonds strengthen, I think there's an underlying social enforcement mechanism if the body reaches consensus of someone that's not part of the body, let's say. The body, the social consensus of all the cells in the body is to expel the object from the body. I think that's probably a natural outcome if it ever gets to that point. I don't think we've really actually gotten to that point in any specific case, but it seems somewhat inevitable to me. So that's my pitch.
Okay. So another thing that kind of came up during ElseNet was, because I got to lead it, was how much more difficult it is to get things rolling. Because like during normal estuary in person, I can signal to the person, hey, you pass the conversational ball to the next person. So Neil, who are you passing the ball to?
Noah.
Okay. And then Noah, whenever you're done, you pass it to whoever's next.
Okay. Things I've been thinking about. Yeah, we've been talking a lot about Gen Z and kind of the extremist tendencies of Gen Z, and I've been considering the possibility of making a video about John Brown. For those who are unfamiliar, John Brown was an abolitionist who decided that it would be best to take the violent method of ending slavery. Ultimately failed at it, but it kind of was a premonition of the greater violence that would come in the Civil War. His execution was attended by like Robert E. Lee, Ulysses S. Grant, and a bunch of other people. It was kind of a gathering point of every kind of major force. And so there is a certain amount of like, with the great evil of slavery, that like it seems reasonable to kind of respond in turn with violence. Is that a door that we want to open, or is that a door we want to leave super shut, maybe? And so I think that's an interesting question that I'm kind of thinking about and kind of rolling around. Oh, I passed the ball. I passed the ball to Miles.
I'm glad I got rescued by the whole conversation about whether the estuary protocol was necessary or not, because I didn't have anything and it gave you. I left my. But I have been thinking about and considering. So Rebecca and I my wife and I went to Midwest Estuary. You all know.
Sell out of the.
Matt, can you mute? Matt,
Excuse me.
oh, you got it. Good, thanks.
And one of the thing that I said before we drove home on Sunday was, I think the worst thing that could happen is to come back home from this experience, get back home, and somehow it be as if nothing had happened. Like that, this not be something that we take back with us. And there's been a lot of talk in a lot of different channels. The word pilgrimage has come up a lot. The mountaintop experience I've heard referenced a few times. And I think that these bigger conferences that we go to and we connect at can be sort of that. And I'd love to just have more conversation around what should that change be? What is it maybe for you personally, and how do you see that in your life? Or maybe it wasn't. Maybe you didn't feel changed by it. But I want to talk about that mountaintop experience and coming home.
Okay. And then who are you passing?
I'm sorry, guys. IRL just completely interrupted me, and the bakery next door felt like I needed some goodies, and so I missed everything beyond Foxman talking about John Brown. Which is interesting. I'll probably vote that way anyway. Can I pass? Can I just pass?
Yeah.
You may pass.
Okay.
You may not pass. You may pass.
Okay, thank you. I need to enjoy some of this before it becomes less warm.
Alright, so for pointing, I definitely want to talk about John Brown, because like that's something that I see online, and I feel like a lot of people who are more legacy media oriented have no idea what's bubbling under the surface, just because it's not something that they're aware of. So that's my point. Neil.
I want to talk about Miles' mountaintop experiences coming home. Got a lot of thoughts. We just talked about this a little bit earlier with Matt. I talked about the Gartner hype cycle, but I have a lot more thoughts.
Pass the ball.
Oh, I thought we were following the same order. Sorry, Noah. Yeah.
Oh,
But if he doesn't speak up, then yeah.
I'm going to point towards Miles. And then I will pass the ball to Miles. You're muted, by the way.
Okay.
Corn cop.
Thank you.
Corn.
So Neil, yours was kind of about estuary discipline or TLC discipline.
Yeah, TLC, I would say more so.
Is that too limited?
No, that's a good summary of it. Yeah.
I like those both. I like both of those. Maybe I'm more interested in what Noah is talking about because I'm foreign to the concept. I think there is a conversation that I'd love to be a part of about the TLC discipline at some point, but I'm going to point to Noah.
I think Af makes the final decision because you're the host here. Af.
Well, I'll do the. We'll talk about the estuary mountaintop because I got 2 votes. We'll start with that and then we'll come back to the James Brown thing. I think that's what we'll do. Because I was not keeping track of exactly what the votes were, and I don't want to just default to the one that I said I wanted to do.
So the unfortunate thing about pitching is that when you win, you have to kind of elaborate, don't you?
Yes. That's the tradition, at least.
Well, I have a personal anecdote to share, but you could up to you, Miles, if you want me to share.
Would you just restate your pitch since I completely missed yours?
That's true.
Didn't I go after Noah? Anyway, my pitch, Matt, was sort of the mountaintop experience of attending something. No, let's be specific. I want to be specific here. The mountaintop experience of estuary, like an estuary conference. Oh, sorry. Sorry about the volume. The mountaintop experience of attending an estuary conference and then coming home from it. And what should be changed and how should you be changed by it? So I guess I'll elaborate a bit. I'm from a faith tradition where this thing happens a lot. We call it camp. But there were other conferences as well. And I would come home and things would be different for a while. And much of the change was probably more pursuit of morality than anything else. Which is probably why it faded sometimes very quickly. But I felt a very similar experience at Midwestuary that I did with camp. It was different, but it was similar in this is significant. This is a big thing that happened. We pilgrimage to it. It took us like 12 hours to drive to Midwestuary total. Okay, that's a big deal. And then we went and we had significant event after significant event over the next 4 days. And to come home and for that to be something that does fade away, let's say just like stop participating. I didn't participate in the corner. I just kind of went back to my normal life. To me, that would be a shame. And but I don't. At the same time, I don't know what should change and what I think will change in the long term. And we definitely made some friendships and made some relationships, but it feels really significant, and I don't want to not to not be really intentional with it. So that's where I'm at.
We were having a conversation real quick, Matt. No, real quick. We were having conversation in the Discord a couple hours ago, where a guy, and his name actually escapes me, so I can't even say who it is, but a guy who's just lurking, generally speaking, but went to Midwestuary, jumped on and basically he said the thing that stuck with me is he said, like, I know and I feel that Aslan's on the move. And I don't know exactly where or how, but that's the feeling that he was left with in Midwestuary. And that when he said that, like, Aslan's on the move, I was like, oh, that's it. Like, that's the spirit. So I think your sentiment, Miles, is shared by others, maybe many others that were there. Yeah, Matt, sorry, go ahead if that's all I wanted to say.
Well, first I was going to say, like, the correct answer. Oh, golly, running out of daylight, guys. No, I'm just out of daylight. But the correct answer, what do you do with your mountaintop experience, is you write a killer article for my zine while it's still hot. But secondarily, it's a matter of, like, what do you take away? Like, part of it's like the question is way, 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 way too abstract, because what you've got from Midwestuary, I assume, is different from what I got and what everyone else on the panel got. So it's a matter of, like, trying to find, like, the pearl that is condensed from everything that happens and figure out how to, I don't know, like, share that in some limited sense with those back in your community. But that's going to require, like, honestly, like, waiting long enough for all of the dust to settle that you know what is the pearl versus the sediment that's just churning around the pearl, in a metaphor that I don't think makes a lot of sense anymore. But I also have a beef about the fact that, like, morality is good and you should be moral and do morality. You just got to bind it to the spirit, and you can do that. Actually, you can work in concert with the spirit in your morality. Anyway, that's. Do I have to pass the ball? No. Okay, that's enough.
I think there's a lot of wisdom in that. I don't mean to jump in before anybody else if I am, but it does seem that as we get further away from it, it gets more clear to me, it's becoming more clear to me what it is that I took away from it. So I think that allowing that dust to settle, I would expect it to be different for each of us, what we took away from the event, because we all had different experiences, even though it was a shared experience.
What did you take away from it?
But more clear to me what that was that I'm taking away from it.
And what was that? Unless I just missed it before.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good question. So, I'm buying time with my
Oh, okay.
This kind of actually is a trickle from the conversation that Neil and Matt and I were having before we came in here.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of relationships in my life that that I'm responsible for, for guiding, for protecting, for providing for, and there was a time in my life where it was easy to go into a place where it felt like I was on the fringe, where maybe there was some danger, there was some other, if you will, there were people that were not like me, that might present a challenge, that might present a conflict, that might present new ideas that I had never heard before. And as you become more responsible and you have a lot of people that you maybe feel that you have to protect, that you tend to sort of carve out your niche and say, okay, in this space, I am confident that I can be to some degree, or to the most degree, in my control, protect these people, provide for these people, and make sure that they are not harmed. And so you don't take that, you stop going to the fringe as much. You stop exploring new ideas as much. But in that is a certain form of death, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're no longer growing, you're no longer on the fringe, and the fringe is where growth happens. And to me, what I'm taking away from Midwestuary is the necessity of being on the fringe. I have to find a way, even though I have responsibility. Because as I continue to do that, even maybe sometimes when I feel like, oh man, I'm so tired, I'll just reschedule it, or I'll say no, or I won't be on, or I'll back out. If I allow myself to not be in the fringe, then that death will be permanent at some point. I'll be too comfortable to put myself there anymore.
Why do you think this space is the fringe?
For me, it is.
I'm actually not disagreeing with you. I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Where
I think
those
for all
two
the
things.
reasons,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people in the corner, and a lot of and because of that, a lot of people at Midwestuary that are different than I am. And the fringe being, well, the way I'm looking at it is like, what is normal? What is your like everyday space, right? In your comfort zone, and then being on the edge of your comfort. I'm not saying be like way past it, but being on the fringe of your comfort zone to where you're putting yourself around people that you might not have ever connected with for one reason or another, so that you can continue to learn and expand and not withdraw. Why do I? And that's so why I think it's the fringe. For me personally, it is the fringe because it's uncomfortable. Because it isn't normal for me. What was that?
Oh, that's the game.
Okay. So that's my elaboration. Y'all can go with it from there.
Fringe question. Or question about the fringe. If hierarchies are triangles, right, or pyramids, then as you ascend the triangle, you have less and less peers. Is there a sense in which the further up you ascend the hierarchy, the more you re-encounter the fringe in a different manner? Because you are more isolated, you are less able to draw on wisdom because there are less people that are at that level with you.
I mean, just from personal experience, being an officer in the Army. Hang on, let me just mute these guys for a second because they're being really loud. It is very lonely if you are somebody who is in a position of authority, and especially like if you're in charge of a bunch of other people, and then like you. You're around people constantly, but you can't really talk to them about what's on your mind. Because doing that breaks some of the rules of the game. And so, like, that's one of the things that I wonder sometimes about people like Paul. It's like, to what degree do you have the same experience that I did there, except on maybe even a larger scale? Because if he has that many more people that he's talking with and who want to talk to him versus me having just like 30 odd people, right? What things does he have floating around in his head that he would love to talk about that he can't for one reason or another because of how that would play out in some other way?
Mm-hmm.
For what it's worth, because I ran into him at the airport, I not pushed him, but I kind of like broached that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So, sort of like brought it to like in our conversation, brought that to his focus, and he's well aware.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't doubt that. But I'm just curious, like what the specifics are, you know.
I think it's something that has to be considered in pursuit of elevation within the hierarchy.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. But it's also...
Go
ahead.
My personal experience is rather strange because there is some overlap between these domains, but I would say I have 3 main domains in my life of being known. No. I guess it's 4. Yeah, it's 4. And there is some overlap, but less than you would think. So I have family. Family knows me very well, and that's also my wife's extended family, my brother and my parents and a few others. Then I have my church, my local church, and that includes a Bible study within my church that knows me extremely well, and music ministry that knows me very well. Then I have work, and they know, I have some friends at work that know me fairly well, but they don't know, they don't know my deep philosophical or religious convictions, let's say. But they know my sense of humor. And then the fourth is, you got to go?
I have one very important question to ask. Are we recording right now? Are we streaming live?
Yes, we're streaming
outside of this room.
But not your face.
Well, no, I know that. I just want to double check and make sure we're all aware that this is not contained within this room. So,
yeah.
Okay, I wasn't aware, but if you were aware, good.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you're good.
I will make that a disclaimer in the future. I assumed that y'all coming in here knew that
I
coming on stream.
I let Miles know, and everybody else should know. But
it's one of those back of my mind. But then the conversation got going, and then Neil, you had a direction, and part of me's just like,
no, we're good.
I want to be mindful of how much depth I'm willing to respond.
Yeah, no. But I want to lay it out with some reality, So I have these different domains of my life. And they do have crossover in various, like family and church, for instance, and like TLC and but generally speaking, and the fourth is TLC, by the way, all the people I know here. But generally speaking, they're somewhat separate. But then I think to myself, like, is that a bad thing? Like, because each of them, I do feel like it's somewhat contingent on me to be recalibrated or to adjust myself based on feedback I'm receiving in each of these four domains. Because if I'm doing something poorly in, say, my work, then I need to readjust. If I'm doing something poorly in my family, I need to readjust. If I'm doing something poorly in my church. But something about the TLC domain, like what Miles was talking about, like being on the fringe, those three things, like if work is not particularly unique, if church is like, basically maintaining and keeping and maybe trying to grow and, but it's not, and then, your family is exactly, it's like provide, protect, grow, all that stuff. So that's almost in line with the church. But then where's the exploration? Where's the attempt to optimally grip a changing situation? So I agree with you, Miles. Like it's felt for me like I very much needed this as a place to explore and learn and grow. And I do think that not exploring and learning and growing is death. And I've been in enough spaces that are unique online that I feel relatively confident in discerning the fruits of the spirit. But I see people with less experience with that, like not really knowing what to make of it. And I don't really blame them for it because it is kind of a foreign world compared to on the ground. But I've been in virtual community for 25 years now. So, yep.
What would you say is the biggest differences that you've noticed between virtual community versus on-the-ground community?
It's easier accountability for on-the-ground community. Easier accountability. It's not, it's not that we hold. Well, we don't really hold people in TLC to like a particular state. Like you failed to meet Rule 3, Section 7, Clause B. So like, what standard are we adhering to? Mm-hmm. But my point is like, if someone curses off Paul Vanderklay on a stream or something like that, like how well is that disseminated? Like, or how is that enforced? I'm kind of weaving in my topic, it doesn't even have to be Paul Vanderklay. Let's say a newcomer comes on and we treat the newcomer with disrespect. And then it's like, if we find 3 good people in Sodom, we won't burn it to the ground. Well, we didn't. And
we don't have to go into details, but I mean, like, what happens when somebody goes onto a live stream and under a name of somebody in the community does something they're not supposed to be doing?
I wonder what you could be referring to.
I'm just saying, like, we've run into these situations before, and there's a certain amount of, like, what are you going to do? Like, you're not... It's online, you know?
But in an in-person community, what happens is, and this is, like, I'm convinced this just happens automatically. Like, it's almost like equilibrium. What happens is the body... So let's say a new person comes into an in-person community. I think this does happen in the virtual space too, but it takes longer. So what happens is the body comes into the virtual community, or the in-person community. The in-person community has to feel out, what is this new body, this new member? What are the body's capabilities? What are their weaknesses? What are their vices? What are their virtues? What are if those two things are in good communication or communion with one another, then what happens is the new member into the body is enriched, and responsibility is put on that person to the extent that trust is able to be extended to that person. And what trust actually is two things. It's made up of competence. Is the person capable of doing whatever the task is? But there's another, which is their interests or their alignment. Are their interests, values aligned with those of the other party or the broader body? That's what trust is. So as the calibration of the understanding of the body and the body's understanding of the new member, as that calibrates, the trust goes up, and the responsibilities accompanying that goes up until it reaches an optimal grip of where this person can and should be in the body. Oh, they're great at physical tasks. They're great at handyman work. We need 3 toilets installed. We got this to, do whatever it is. Or they're awesome at, organizing events and getting people to sign up and on board and yes, plug that in. A good body is able to discern those strengths faster and build that trust faster, such that it gets the right people in the right place at the right time at the right speed. Virtual community does that slower for a number of reasons. One, virtual. Number 2 is we don't know each other as well because of virtual. But then we have an event like this, like Midwestuary, and it's like, oh, suddenly we know each other better. Not all that well, but still better. And then, anyway, that was a lot.
Well, and I would question too, how well we really know each other, just based off of because you can fake it pretty well for a short period of time. That's kind of one of the reasons that, especially for certain military exercises or other stuff like that, usually that's about a month of no, we're gonna keep you here for a month, and by then the cracks will start to show pretty much no matter who it is that you're working with. So, and that's one of those things. It's like, I don't necessarily want everybody to have the same discernment as the discernment that I do, but how do I communicate the things that I'm discerning to other people in a way that doesn't unnecessarily damage the reputation of somebody else, while still trying to keep people appraised of situations and personalities in such a way that they can prevent worse harm from potentially being brought onto the community or individuals within the community.
You saying we need gossip protocols? Because
maybe that's what you call it. I don't know what the right name.
That's
for
exactly
that is.
what it is.
Okay.
I mean, it's just in the sense of like discussing what gossip is on a moral level is important, and also recognizing on a pragmatic level the role it plays in any functioning community. Gossip is, in some sense, like getting close to the verbal fringe of community speech. It's I mean, that's why it's heard it through the grapevine. It's on the edges. It's where things get a little thorny, but it is it's where a lot of implicit policing happens. But it's sort of, that's where questions of trust are really, really important. And You gotta like figure out like who have you assessed who's capable of handling a bad report about somebody without that completely torpedoing their regard for that person. Hearing that as like somebody's impression and being able to be like, okay, that's not how I see things. Let me just sit with that and figure out if you're seeing things I'm not, or if I need to de-escalate you somehow or contextualize that better. It's a matter of it's where the trust network comes in.
Yeah, and the contextualization part, I think, is a really important note there too. Like, a lot of times somebody will get a bad impression from somebody else, and it'll either be just a one-off that somebody else can be like, hey, like, I know this guy, like, that was a one-off, like, I'm pretty sure he didn't mean what you think he means or she means. And then you also have, like, oh, you don't know about this other thing that happened in their life, and not having that context, you don't know what they were trying to get at when they said the thing that you think that they said, but they were actually trying to say something different.
There's not, yeah, that's what I was going to say. There's an added wrinkle in this, which is that people transform in this space over time. And from what I've seen, it's towards the better. And so something that happened months or even years ago, yeah, it's not emblematic of the person in all times and all places always, and B, often it is, something that is better forgotten, or look not upon your father's or your brother's or your son's nakedness, especially with that tattoo back in 97. Don't look at that nakedness. So there you go.
Or scar. I think we've drifted away from my pitch.
Yeah, we did.
That's how it goes. Yeah, I'm trying to find the thread here. I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
I am very curious
No,
about
fix this.
the rest of you all. Like, what is it that you got on that mountaintop of Midwestuary? And what did you bring home, and how has it changed you? How do you expect it will?
I mean, I'll jump in there. Like, just the big thing for me was just seeing people that I've known digitally in multiple more dimensions, and that has kind of like fundamentally affected how I my sense of them. In part because I get to do a physical in-person judgment of, are you the person you appeared to be online? And you got like 2-3 days of noticing, of watching, and being like, okay, dealing with the whiplash of, say, like voice chat guys. I'm like, you do not look like my mental image of you a week ago, or or just noticing, and for the most part being delighted by the fact that most of the people I've met are more or less there's a high rate of fidelity to my digital mental projection of them, which gives me the it gave kind of like a boost in my kind of like intuitions, that I feel like I had a decent sense of them, and just encourages me to like treat these relationships as something like real and worth continuing, and something that are worth relying on in a way that affecting my IRL life. I mean, I still haven't even begun to come down from the mountain yet, but bounce back into life and work with a tremendous amount of vigor after the just experience of this broad network of relationships that I'm a meaningful part of.
Yeah, for me, it's like, I just get very anxious about stuff a lot, and so I was very anxious coming in to like try and make sure that I was coming in with the energy that I wanted to like be there for other people in the way that I wanted to, and so I was not focusing as much as I maybe wanted to on what came after. Like, I should have probably started working on scheduling out more events in the future before Midwestuary, and it's like, okay, now that it's over, now I have the mental capacity to do so, and it's like, okay, that's so coming down, but in a more like negative valence of like, I should have been able to handle this before, but yeah.
War's son?
You talk about the campouts and stuff like
yeah,
that?
the campouts. Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't beat yourself up very much about that, just because that requires wrangling with a dozen people's schedules.
Mm-hmm. No, and I know
Not so
that.
much you can plan out in advance.
I'm very self-critical. Very self-critical.
Well, let me teach you to be a narcissist, brother.
No.
Velmi Archer.
But the fun kind.
They're not mutually exclusive, and that's the dangerous part.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, that's one of the hidden things about narcissists is that they're actually some of the most not self-critical per se, but like lowest self-esteem people that project high self-esteem.
With nothing inside, right?
I'm going to quote Donald Rumsfeld. I don't know when. I don't know where. But something bad is going to happen. Good night.
I thought you were about to be taken. I will find you.
I have a very special set of skills. Yeah, Slack is right. It's defense against the dark arts. We're not supposed to be learning how to be narcissists. We're supposed to be learning how to defend against the narcissists.
You have to become a monster before you can fight them.
Wait, I want to go back to Miles, because Miles, you said you had some specific. I remember you said that how you thought your involvement was coming down the mountain, and where you think. I'm not at all surprised by that, but I'm curious how just in like 2 weeks your thinking has changed.
Oh,
Garadel Akari.
Yeah, I think that it's probably pretty common when you set out on a pilgrimage that maybe you think you are something specific, or you perceive it's the purpose of the pilgrimage anyways. You have a certain perspective and you want to have been changed by the pilgrimage, right? You expect to be changed by it. You I could get I don't know that I want to get more specific right now, but like I think it's an inevitability. I like that word too. If you hang out with me very long, you'll hear me say it a lot. I think it's an inevitability. Like you are purposefully choosing to go through an experience that will change you, because our experiences change us. And most pilgrimages are difficult or challenging in some aspect or another. So we're going through this experience, this intentional. A pilgrimage is intentional. It's intentional. It's not. It's not an optional. It's something that we're choosing to do. And so we're going through this experience that we know will change us because we've chosen to do so. And you may even come back with one set of beliefs that, as you unpack, whereas as Matt said, like as the dust settles, as you take the dust from that pilgrimage off your boots or shoes or sandals or whatever you're wearing on your feet, things start to look different than even maybe you thought that they had as you were making your way home. Right? So, I think that we and here's why. Here's sort of a maybe a hypothetical story. Let's say you go and you've come home from your pilgrimage and you you meet up with a friend, you have a scheduled visit with a friend, and you have a conversation with that friend, and you tell them everything that you went through on your pilgrimage, and what you've come home from, and what you think that you could do now that you have this new experience. And your friend looks at you, and maybe this is a friend that you've met with regularly before your pilgrimage. You're very close. And they look at you and they say, "Oh yeah, I've done that," and it's not like that at all.
Wait, that
So
they...
you thought you'd come home with this new identity, this new... You've been changed by this pilgrimage, and you've given them your enlightenment.
That's the movie that Noah just reviewed, the first one. That's exactly... No. That's the one you just reviewed, Noah, right?
Well, not... yeah, the one I made a video on. There's a scene towards the end of the whole movie is following this guy, and he has this experience of getting diagnosed with cancer. And so he goes through that whole thing, and it's a slow exploration to kind of finally come to the point where he's like, I'm going to try to change something. He does something with the last little bit of his life. He decides to actually help people. His whole life he had not been helping people. He'd just been kind of, doing whatever. And so he builds this park, and then at his funeral, all his coworkers are gathered together, and they all kind of reach the end of the funeral, and they say, "We're gonna do it. We are going to change this is what he would have wanted. We're gonna change the way that things are run around here. We're gonna actually help people. We're gonna do real work in the government, and we're gonna change things." And the very next scene is this kind of reveal where they're all sitting at their desks, and somebody comes to ask for help, and they get turned away. And the guy who's sitting there like, what we were just saying that we were gonna change, we were gonna do something different. And they all look at him like, yeah, we did say that, but that was because that's what we're supposed to say. And then he kind of nods and sits down, and there is an element of a grain of hope that maybe he will be able to carry it on, but there is that kind of way of going about it.
I would point to a difference of all of those people, or maybe one of those people, holding on to that and being like, "Yeah, I really believe in this. I'm going to do it," right? And he goes to do something to help someone, and they're like, "I actually don't need your help." He tries to pick up the box, and the person looks at him and says, "No, the box belongs there. I didn't need you to move it." So you came in with all this intentionality and all it meaning so well.
Have you ever tried to help someone that doesn't want your help?
Yeah.
What about somebody who... So I have a kind of somewhat similar situation. I literally, a week after Chicago, met up with a buddy of mine for Christmas. This is a guy who knows me very, very well. As far as, friends go who I've lived closely with, shared a tremendous amount of experiences with over the last 10 years. We've worked alongside each other for a number of years. And, I was just trying to, help him. He's always been very, indifferent to whenever I've mentioned you guys, the online space and whatnot. But, coming in hot after Chicago and just trying to, help him see the good that's here, and just trying to show, literally talking for 2 hours about all of the things going on that I'm a part of and whatnot. And it's just did not affect him at all. And I'm like, even the fact that I feel better, have a lot of new creative projects to pursue that I think are good and meaningful, and it's just it complete brick wall from somebody who I think knows me well. It's hard. It's hard.
Well, is maybe the expectation, because if they're not having the same experience that you are, if they're not living through and feeling the things about things that you are, is it reasonable to expect them to be able to understand where you're coming from? Or is that the exception and not the rule?
So to be a Bible guy for a second, like Scripture commands vicarious suffering and enjoyment of one another. In the sense of like, yeah, no, like share one another's joys, share one another's sorrows, and to try and share your joy, and to get completely and utterly like, just not even like reject it. It's sort of like, I don't know, like like invisibility.
But is that the exception? Like, or isn't that the rule? That's why it's a command in the Bible, is because of the fact that it is such a rare and difficult thing to do or to ask of others.
There's a superpower. There's a superpower that. Man, how do I say this without? When you cease being daunted by failure, you just cease really caring about failure, and you just, all right. Not that you don't course correct based on failure. I'm not saying that. Like you do course correct, but when you basically accept failure as inevitable, and you just say, I'm gonna regardless of failure or not. Now I'm gonna learn from the failure, but like the failure is not. How do I say it? Correct. In regard to your friend Matt, or in regard to creative projects, or in regard to like any effort, if it's good in and of itself, then you just do the good in and of itself and let the chips fall where they may, and you recalibrate every step of the way as best you can.
I think that applies to what I said too. Like, it's consistent recalibration, right? Because you might have come home from this pilgrimage, and you think you have answers, you think you have new meaning, you think you have a purpose, and it maybe the feedback you receive tells you that you haven't been as enlightened as you thought you were.
Or the feedback might indicate that, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the case.
Oh no, he's 100% wrong.
I am enlightened, damn it. My friend is the friend.
We're not the weird ones. They're the weird ones.
No, we are the weird ones, but that doesn't mean we're wrong.
We are the world. We are the weird ones. Sorry, Miles, go ahead.
Like,
I don't mean to be. No, I do mean.
This isn't feedback that I've received like from someone. This is like continued enlightenment, right? Like, oh, it's an additional information. Like I thought, oh, I have this, and then you see something else, you experience something else, and you're like, oh, that isn't what I thought. Like, what I thought I needed to do isn't what I thought I needed to do, because now I have additional input. Right? And so there is a recalibration that's necessary.
Well, at the very least, you have to recognize that, like, you thought that the message was so profound that it would be self-evidently meaningful to anyone and everyone that you shared it with. And the fact that it isn't means that there's something wrong in your understanding, and that needs recalibrating.
My own ignorance is what's wrong.
But ignorance about what?
You're just ignorant.
Limited knowing.
You're just ignorant.
Yeah, just limited knowing. Right? Just not. It's just the zoom out, right? Like it's you just need to, and you need more of the picture.
Golly.
Yeah. That brings us back to the fringe and exploration, and Chad Chad's had this song. Sorry, Chad. I'm gonna steal a little bit of your thunder. I know he's gonna listen to this. He might be pissed. It's okay. Then he gets to forgive me.
How dare you, Neil?
Chad's had All Along the Watchtower, originally by Skankenstein. No, originally by Bob Dylan, and then taken by Jimi Hendrix. He's had the lyrics of All Along the Watchtower stuck in his head. And what's All Along the Watchtower about? So let me read the lyrics to you. "There must be some way out of here," said the Joker to the thief. Keep that duality in mind. The two. "There must be some way out of here," said the Joker to the thief. "There's too much confusion. I can't get no relief. Businessmen, they drink my wine." Businessmen. "Plowmen dig my earth. None of them along the line know what any of it's worth." And then the thief responds, "No reason to get excited, the thief," he kindly spoke. "There are many here among us who feel that life is but a joke. But you and I, we've been through that, and this is not our fate. So let us not talk falsely now, the hour is getting late." All along the watchtower, princes kept their view, while all the women came and went, barefoot servants too. Outside in the distance, a wild cat did growl. 2 riders were approaching. The wind began to howl. So, Chad connected something for me, like, because a watchtower is like outside the city. It's not part of the city, but it's on the fringe of the city. This is why I'm bringing this up. The watchtower is technically sort of part of the city because it's accountable to the city, but it's outside of the city. It's on the fringe. The whole point of the watchtower is to keep an eye out for what's coming and to report back to the city threats and changes and be able to... But Chad pointed out something to me that like blew my mind. It's like all along the watchtower. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense because the watchtower is like this circular thing. So I was thinking it was maybe like a 360-degree view of everything that's coming all along the watchtower. And then Chad's like, no, it's about time, all along. Meaning the watchtower is like this ongoing. It's always there as a fringe. There's always a fringe. So you could think of the watchtower as like the fringe of everything, and the all along it is in time as well as every direction. And princes kept the view, and the 2 princes are the Joker and the thief. And who are the Joker and the thief?
The 2 on the either side of Jesus at the end?
Well, Joker's definitely Satan, and I think the thief is Christ. I think so.
Well, no, I mean the 2 who are crucified next to him.
Yeah, that's the other really common interpretation of this song, is that it's the 2 that are crucified next to Christ. So the Joker is the one who berates him, and the thief is the penitent thief.
Yep. That was what I was getting.
But outside in the distance, a wildcat did growl. That's what that reminded me of was the crouching at the door. Cain and Abel. There's a predatory cat crouched at your door, and 2 riders were approaching. Again, that duality, and the wind began to howl. So I was thinking that the wind is like the first sign of a storm. Like the wind is the first, like whenever you're about to show some storm happening, it's always they go up into they have a camera shot in the sails of the ship, and the sails are all billowy. And that's the first sign. So that's like the watchtower on the fringe of something. And the 2 riders, I think that's probably the Joker and the thief also. Again, like the choice, maybe a choice is approaching between the 2. Anyway, yeah. Sorry, I took this in a strange direction.
Who has great Bob Dylan interpretation stuff is what's his name? The Catholic priest. For the 4 horsemen of the meaning, but he was one of them. What was the
Bishop Barron?
Bishop Barron. Bishop Barron has a lot of really good Bob Dylan stuff. He has a good video on that song specifically too.
Interesting.
I just pulled up What Are the 4 Horsemen?
Well, there's a conversation a long time ago. It was a conversation between Jordan Peterson, Jonathan Peugeot, John Vervaeke, and then it was Bishop Barron was the fourth one they chose. That was the controversial fourth horseman of meaning.
Paul Vanderklay's been pissed off ever since.
I don't even know if it would be Paul.
Should have been no.
He definitely is the odd one out though. If you get those three together, and you don't necessarily associate Bishop Barron with that group.
Conquest, war, famine, and death. If you didn't know, because I didn't just know off the top of my head.
It's good news. There's only 2 are coming.
Give it time. The other ones could show their heads too.
What's the other interpretation I've heard? There's one that's talking about the cyclical nature of the song that doesn't seem to necessarily start at the beginning. That it's starting halfway through, and then halfway through the song, the story is starting.
So the 2 riders approach, and then they have that conversation again, and the 2 riders approach, and they have the conversation again. And
well, not necessarily like it's a cyclical time thing, but more of just like folk storytelling, that style of doing it that way. I know Bishop Barron takes it towards like blessed are the feet of those who bring good news. Like he ties it into kind of prophetic literature and goes that route. You could go Wildcat with the beginning of Dante's Inferno. There's a lot of fun things you could do with it. The Cucumber Hut from Isaiah.
The Cucumber Hut?
What's
the Scarecrow in the Melon Patch?
The one where the people don't treat the owner's son very well. I think it might be Jesus' retelling of that story, but
Okay, yeah. Isaiah's got the parable of the wine vineyard. At least one.
I thought it was a Cucumber Hut the way that he said it, but I might be wrong.
Oh, Jeremiah's got the Scarecrow in the Melon Patch.
Gethsemane is the place for pressing oil.
And skulls.
Daughter Zion is left like a shelter in a vineyard, like a hut in a cucumber field. I think that might be a different one. I might have mixed my Isaiah together.
More partial to zucchinis myself.
Yeah, the seminarian is probably going to be the best to break Bible disputes.
I'm a little...
Sorry, we've got...
The prophetic books are way too long, man. There's just too much in there, and I gotta... That's my major weakness.
Major weakness?
Did you just salute?
There's plenty of minor ones, too. Don't you worry.
I did salute on major weakness.
God bless.
Yeah.
That's well, I'm not explaining the reference.
How I Met Your Mother. At least that's where I saw it.
We wrapping up. I'm fading.
Yeah, but
it's been really good.
I'm disappointed I didn't get to hear from everyone on like what they're bringing from Midwestuary and how they expect it will change them or not.
We could end that. That could be the...
Yeah. Wrap it up with that.
Noah, how about you go? Is that a Transformer? No, that's not. It's a Voltron.
It's the Gundam I put together today.
Ah, Gundam style.
Well, that's
I think it's
Gundam.
focused in my face.
Something different.
Model kit is a good one. Fun time. What's my burning thing? I don't know. I have a hard time with like kind of coming away exactly with what happened. Partially because I've already kind of been through this a little bit. So it's a little different for me.
With Northwest
And I'm
True.
already out of the lurk too, so I think there's a little bit of that. So I don't know how Af feels, but I feel like I don't have as much of the horns of Moses or whatever right now. I'm kind of just continuing on, kind of reinvigorated in what I was already doing and kind of going for. And you know, I just went through a birthday, and so I'm kind of trying to evaluate like what the next year of my life is going to be and what I'm going to put my effort towards and all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, I'm juggling a lot, so it's hard to kind of settle on one thing. But I hope that was enough to kind of explain what I'm thinking about.
I think affirmation is like really big, right? If you came back and you were like, yes, I'm doing the right thing, I need to continue doing what I'm doing, that's a big deal.
Oh, I don't know if I could go that far, but we'll take it. I don't know who else hasn't gone yet, but
I think I commented before, but I'll agree with what you said, that like Northwestuary was the big one for me, of like, yes, this is a real thing. And so yeah, reaffirmation of like what I've already been doing, and then a reminder of some of the things that I've been wanting to do and haven't made the time for, and a chance to coordinate with the people that I have been wanting to do more with as a like around that. So yeah.
Before we totally disembark, can I ask a John Brown question to the Zoomers?
yeah.
Of course. So again, like Oxford, you mentioned, it's just that, like we're not reckoning with how radicalized the Zoomers are, and I'm curious, what do you think can be done to help other, like, I guess like clearly, you know, those older than you are having trouble either listening to you or even caring to listen to you. Do you guys actually want to be heard, or are you done talking to those outside of your core group?
So like personally, and this isn't an intergenerational thing, this is just kind of a personal thing, but like I've felt like it's been difficult to feel understood in general. And I kind of talked about this in my members only video that will come out later. But if you want to see it, you know, you can pay the big bucks. But
everybody's grifting.
Larpard grifting.
I'm gonna rattle my Ko-Fi just to keep up with all my subscriptions.
By the way, if you want to chip in for this stream, there's a link in the description. You can go and donate $5 and buy me a coffee, and you know, just support the content. Appreciate it.
And
on YouTube, I can't see any of them.
and you'll earn forgiveness for your ignoring Zoomers. You know, we'll absolve you of that.
I feel like I've done a
sin.
decent job of listening. I talk to my fascist brother all the time.
Well, you have, but there's other people who need to tithe in order to, or what's the, like you pay to have your sins absolved with the old church?
Indulgences.
Indulgences, there we go. Pay your indulgences to the Zoomers.
How dare you insult my religion? How dare you?
Thanks for starting mine, though.
Hey Neil, it's all of our religion.
Mm-hmm.
That was pre-Reformation.
Mine. It's mine.
It's mine.
Yeah, but anyway, I was kind of going into that. Like, there is like I already felt a little bit of that way before, but then COVID did not help with that. Of this like complete atomization of each person having their own thing, and it being completely disconnected from any other kind of experience. And so, yeah, I don't know. I deeply desire to be understood, and then at the same time, I don't get any of the fun. I'm not a fun mystery if I'm understood either, so it kind of sucks either way.
So for me,
I understood you a few times.
Was it order and chaos, known and unknown? You gotta. Yeah, you don't want to be too known. That's nakedness. But you don't want to be too unknown either. That's indifference. That's lack of love.
So Miles, nobody here is exactly what they appear,
nobody ever is.
and that's for good.
Well, no,
and
that's
that's
the
for
problem.
ill.
I am actually exactly as I appear, but you know.
Me too. What you see is what you get. I just am wildly inconsistent.
I like that. That's kind of interesting.
I'm a mystery wrapped in an enigma.
Mr. Enigma.
The Riddler.
I want to talk
You
about
look a lot like Riddler from the Batman movie. I'm sorry.
What's his line? Oh, this is not how it was supposed to go.
No, what
And then
do
he
you
sings
mean
Ave
by
Maria. Atomization, meaning like everybody is their own unique cell.
That
Like
what's gonna
you're-
happen if you get super radicalized? You start vigilanting Batman.
Well, I think what ends up happening with like the radicalization stuff is that like the only place people feel like they both have agency and have community is within circles that kind of tell them the story, and then that's usually the most radical of them.
So is Inseldom just the first go round of this?
I mean, I think so. I think everybody here who is like who's unfamiliar with him, you should watch J-Rig's video.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is like a necessary viewing. Like either some of his podcasts. He has a podcast called Horseshoe Theory. It's very on the nose, and he just like he interviews young people, and he'll have conversations with like both sides of the political aisle. He's had like eco-fascists on his podcast. He's had Hegelian e-girls, self-proclaimed Hegelian e-girls on his podcast. It's a wild time, and I mean, I don't think that's all young people, but that is a sizable enough group that I think it's worthwhile taking note of.
You know the name Joshua Citarella at all?
Yeah.
Podcast? Okay.
Yeah,
I heard him on one.
Go ahead.
Oh no, just saying like he recently came across my radar a couple months back. Been hoping to pick up his books and see, but they're expensive.
I mean, like, if we're gonna like bring up names too, like Hassan Piker, I think is like this huge kind of like person, at least on the left, who's done a lot of this.
Asmongold.
Well. I mean, Asmongold too, right? They're both representative of this kind of movement. Of course, both of them have kind of veered off in different directions. But what I'm trying to point to too is like that there is a weird unity that has arisen out of this as well, between like all extremes. That there's like a almost like it's a horseshoe theory, right? It's like in the end, if you're against everything, then like everybody is on your side except for the current system. And it also means you don't stand for anything as well. So, there's that too.
I don't know. The thing for me, I think that there's a lot of people who are consuming extremist content just because it's like trying to figure out what's going on in the world, and there are people who are talking who seem compelling, who are attracting audiences, and so you'll have people who don't necessarily believe the things that person's saying, but don't necessarily have the ability or the language to refute it, even if they have an instinctual belief that that's not the case. And I think that there's a lot of cases where somebody will want to talk about, like, hey, there's this crazy thing that I found that I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what to think about it. But they also know that there are certain things that even bringing them up as a topic of conversation are enough to throw certain people into an absolute conniption. And so it's this weird space of, like, okay, I need to talk about this thing because it's eating me up inside, but I also can't without alienating people who I need to keep in my life. And, like, that's, like, I had a brief conversation with one of my cousins when I was back home for my brother's wedding, and he was talking about, like, how he'd been watching some flat earther stuff. And the way that he said it, he very clearly doesn't believe that the earth is flat. But he also doesn't know the reasons of, like, why the things that they're saying aren't valid explanations. But he wants somebody to take that seriously. He wants somebody to understand that he's not necessarily believing that the earth is flat, but to take him seriously and explain why without, like, oh, you fool, like, no one could possibly, like, you don't blow him off. Take it seriously. And I don't see a lot of that coming from a lot of other people.
All right, let's grok it. What are the best reasons to believe the Earth is flat?
I think the flat Earth thing is almost like an epistemological shitfest.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, especially because there's so many people who believe that the Earth is round just because they've been told that the Earth is round, not because they actually understand the measurement or logical reasons of why we came to that conclusion.
Yeah, and if you just went through a massive civilization-wide moment where public health is not half as trustworthy as you can possibly be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Alright. Okay. Alright.
Yep, you're picking up exactly what I'm putting down.
Well, and I think what was emblematic of all this was during the conference, there was the conversation between Roger and Elizabeth Oldfield. And I think what was underlying that nobody talked about, everybody talked about, like, oh, it was good that they talked to each other and they were hearing each other. But there was this kind of weird undertone of Oldfield's response was like, oh, we have different news feeds. I don't see the same stories you see. And relying on the big data, the numbers, it's like, oh, kind of implying that the other side is anecdotal evidence. But even if it is anecdotal evidence, there is a point to be made that, like, justice needs to be had in one way or another, and that's the problem.
Well, and also it's saying that kind of says, like, oh, because I didn't get that in my newsfeed, I'm absolved of any responsibility.
Yes.
From like having to, yeah. And I think there are plenty of people who would be on her side, are all for, like, being extremely compassionate. Mm-hmm. But the fact that, like, nobody who's saying anything about compassion is actually giving a response leaves it open for anybody who wants to take any other perspective on this issue. Well, and that's what frustrates me the most. Well, the other big thing with that is it's selectively directed compassion, where you're being compassionate just for one group of people over another, and not hearing out any of the complaints or issues that the other group is going through. Or just assuming that it's because they're racist or whatever.
Well, the thing is, right, like, I don't think Oldfield thinks they exist. Like, and I think that's kind of the problem, is that, like, there are no real victims to this. Because, like, she doesn't see the stories. So all she hears are just people kind of being told the lies.
Yeah. People seem to be very intent, more than ever in the history of humanity, on the borders of homes. And I think that it's a very interesting thing, right? So we think, like, border of a home is, like, should be very secure and very, very sacred. But the border of the next level out, there's no such thing. Border of the next level out, there's no such thing. Or, like, the border of this like this thing that I'm holding in my hand. Sorry, phone.
I mean, are there parts of the internet you'd like to keep out of your home, Neil?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well,
But what I'm saying is that, like, okay, like, invite the stranger into your country, check. Invite the stranger into your home, invite the stranger into your cell phone, invite, down the list. I don't know, like it seems like something that should be at, like, more levels of principality than just the one of the state, If you're willing to do it at one, then maybe evaluate it, see if you're willing to do it at the other.
And this is what I think is like the most valuable part about the post World War II consensus as an idea is it's able to kind of point this out and poke at it and say, like, this is the thing that we've all kind of told ourselves, but there hasn't been room for any response.
No.
And because there hasn't been room for response, it's kind of exploding out the other end. Like you're going to see everything kind of. It's a pressure cooker that's kind of been left on, and there's been no kind of way to address it. And so why shouldn't you expect something to come out of it?
I'm pretty much pressure cooked, so I'm gonna have
conversation
to drop.
for another time then.
I agree.
Yeah. What is this? The love room?
I really like the idea of sleep deprived politics with Neil, though. Come on.
This is the guy that you have to beat in order to get the map of all the grubs that you haven't gotten yet. So that's the last thing I need to do for Pale Ore to get my final nail upgrade. So
Does the then do the grubs give you the love key then?
no. The love key is, I think you buy it from.
I'm gonna drop. Peace,
Okay.
guys.
Okay.
Good night.
Bye, Neil.
See ya.
I'm also going.
Bye, Miles.
Bye.
Bye, Miles.
See you, Miles.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Goes
no,
through a tunnel for a minute, but you guys are still hanging. I got time on the other side.
Yeah.
I haven't even cracked open my beer yet.
Yeah, I'm hanging.
There's so much bread left, guys. There's a giant bag.
What about Ritalin?
No bread, I think.
Yeah, like sort of go down through the tunnel. I'll tell you on the other side. Go to my campsite. Like Dante, I'm falling asleep when I cross the river. See you guys.
I think he was saying that he has a lot of bread left. He had like a bag full of bread because he got he got gifted bread.
That makes a lot more sense than what I thought I heard.
He's like, I got so much Ritalin, guys.
Woo! We're having a party tonight.
Oh boy.
It wasn't even a choice to skip healing slack. I just instinctually kept swinging, and then as soon as I did and realized that was my opportunity to heal, regretted it deeply. Yeah. I don't. The other thing that kind of annoys me is a lot of stuff is talked about as boogeymen, and nobody wants to name names. Nobody wants to say Nick Fuentes. Nobody wants to say Sam Hyde. Nobody wants to say the names of people who are putting out stuff that is very controversial, that other people are very upset about. It's no, you shouldn't you shouldn't shy away from it. If
Don't
you
want to give them attention.
I understand that you don't want to give them attention, but at the same time, it's these are the people that the Zoomers are watching and getting the crazy takes that they're getting. If you don't know, or if other people are not aware, because that's the thing, I'm knowing Neil, I'm pretty sure he knows where the deep dark corners of the internet are. When he says that he knows parts of the internet that he doesn't want on his phone, he's referring to very specific parts of the internet that he knows the names of. And I don't feel like that's the case.
When I heard that question, I just assumed it was pornography.
Oh,
but
well, that's also possibly true.
But I will also agree. Yeah, I think that's also the case as well.
Mm-hmm. And that's not to say that like we need to do an every frame a pause on the latest Sam Hyde video every time it comes out as part of like corner content, but you can't also just ignore things completely. And
I don't know. I think a PVK
oh gosh,
Sam Hyde reaction would be wonderful.
we're gonna speak it into existence. No, I don't think that'll happen, but interesting to think about.
PVK After Dark like
Oh,
channel
man.
just for like for that kind of stuff.
I mean, Grizz does have his After Dark second channel just in case. Good night, Spatch. It was good having you.
I've been paying attention to the chat. Has the chat just
It's been mostly Slack for a while. I did feel kind of bad because there were some folks who popped in, but I think most people are also just kind of used to the fact that, like, if you come in and you chat on live streams that have a lot of conversation going, then they're not necessarily going to get acknowledged.
Aspen Gold Sam Hyde reaction video was priceless? Yeah.
It was.
What is up? What is up?
Oh, he's back.
I think I'm back. I think I'm through.
Yes.
We were talking about how PVK needs to do reaction videos
A
to
Sam Hyde reaction
Hyde.
video.
Look, I could come in here and talk, but YouTube is so much nicer.
Ooh, we got a Slack. We baited him out.
Oh my goodness. This.
Slack, do you like my Gundam?
Is that a euphemism? Sorry.
Polysemous, man. Multiple meanings.
Oh, come on! Like, freaking thorns got me. Oh! I do not get blamed for that one, Slack. Oh.
Is there a faster bench to that place, or is that just?
Maybe on the other side. Maybe I should
fighting
look at
Is it the Dragonfly Queen or whatever?
that. No, it's the Collector.
The Collector.
Oh, with the levels.
Oh. Is Slasher watching with you, Slack?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know he was, but yes.
Well, he popped in the chat like way earlier for like one message, and I didn't think that he stuck around, but apparently this is good enough.
There is ripping Hollow Knight content to consume here. Silksong win.
I want to play Silksong on stream, but I don't know. Like, I don't think that should be like the next game.
I will say I made the decision for myself that it was going to be a me game.
Mm-hmm. That's actually not a bad idea.
And then maybe I'll come back and play it on stream, but I have been recording my gameplay, but I have no commentary. Maybe for later.
Like, if it's a game like Hollow Knight, you'd have to be a really interesting kind of reaction gamer to do Hollow Knight well, like try. But doing a second playthrough, kind of,
yeah,
right. Having sort of like a somewhat holistic grasp of the lore, or even like a half grasp, is almost more interesting. Where you have like a half-baked narrative that is pretty good, but gets a lot of nuance on your second playthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be the way to go. No, is like do it as a me game.
Yeah. Although I was kind of hoping you would just stream Silksong and we would all play with you while we are talking on the stream.
That might be too much.
I won't lie, I've been trying to get my Sega CD emulator working this entire time.
Any specific game that you want to play on it?
I'm thinking about playing like Snatcher or Police Nuts. I don't remember which one's on Sega CD.
Okay. I was gonna say.
So they're the two Kojima like point and click games he made before he made like Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, let me drop a Kojima conspiracy theory, but a theory since we're like a week on from the 10-year anniversary of.
It's been 10 years. What was the line? I'm sorry. Oh no, I'm sorry to say it's been 10 years.
Yes, he has come too. But the idea that, like, I mean, since like I was just watching the trailer again, but it's like coming in 1984. I kind of wonder if there's, since it's a game that's all about like doubling, a sort of like, did we refound 1984 10 years ago? And we are kind of living through people that can't seem to understand the 90s are gone. There's a certain sort of political, like, no, just live like it's the 90s, bro. And so you have these people literally who have been audio tape psyoped into thinking the 90s rules are still active.
Dream of the 90s is still alive before.
I love how they did that twice, and both of them were so on point. It's the 1990s and then the 1890s. They're both correct and amazing. Oh, let me show you. Let me show you my bed. Look, guys. Oh, that's hard. We'll flip the camera, and you can look with me rather than.
I'll give like IRL Slenderman content that you could.
I really
right
think
now.
you're ready for that next Zoomer panel. That lighting there.
Did we just become BreadTube guys? Is this what's going on?
Is this what BreadTube is?
My apologies to the YouTube audience.
They don't even. Yeah, no one.
No idea.
No one could see this. It's just the game. I'm not even seeing it. Hang on, I'm gonna switch over to Discord just to see what nonsense you guys are getting up to.
Okay, we'll go again.
This BreadTube.
There's
Eating with my bread. Look at that.
So for the
And I've
audience
already eaten
members,
half of it.
the Skake is showing a literal loaf of bread,
Half eaten.
half eaten.
That was given to me midstream by a kind baker across the streets.
And that you're.
That was
you
when
have
you got when I gotta be quieter because there's campers. But yeah, no, when you guys were mid pitching, so like while I was listening to Foxman talk about John Brown, all of a sudden somebody's just like, "Do you want some bread?" And I thought this was another like, okay, somebody assumes Skank is homeless again, but bread is bread. And no, she's just awesome. It's like the best way to advertise is to just give people fresh bread. So yeah, it's about an hour old. I'm like, oh, you sweet, sickly woman. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Is being mistaken
So I had
for
to
a
stop
homeless
by.
person something that you have to frequently deal with?
It has happened at least once.
That is really amusing to me.
Oh. And I didn't realize this was happening. This is a little kid. He was like 10.
Mhm.
And it was just, it was busking. And they was just, and it was at one of the markets at the nicer part of town. Actually, it wasn't a market going on. It was just like a free outdoor concert.
Mhm.
So I just brought my gear, and just like mostly there to listen to the music. But it's like bring the kit. If something happens, but whatever. And so just, yeah, almost nothing happened. This kid walked up and was just like started chatting me up a little bit. Like, all right, be nice, friendly. And then they're like, would you say, do you have an extra one for me? And they're so nice, polite. I'm like, yeah, I'll just give you a freebie. One can fall off the truck if it, that's fine. And like 5 minutes later, the kid comes back and just hands me $1. I'm like, oh, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much. And the kid's just like, oh, no problem. No problem. My parents say it's always important to help out the less fortunate. And it's just like this 10-year-old kid completely got my ass. It was incredible. I like out of nowhere. I do not have. Oh, I'll never have comic timing as good as that. I'm not a kid because I think it was totally sincere.
Oh, that's adorable.
What ASMR? Can you hear this?
I can hear your mouthful. I can't hear anything else though.
Okay. No, it's not that fresh anymore.
I mean, it's still pretty fresh, considering.
Alright. Probably should shut it down. I will give this one more try, and we'll call it, regardless of the outcome. Yeah. Slack, do you have anything to add? Since we don't usually get graced with your presence.
Saving it for in person.
Okay.
Oh, I'm not going to be there this Tuesday. I'm working.
Ooh.
We'll have to report back.
You guys have big plans for our big we didn't meet 2 weeks ago, did we? Like Tuesday after.
No, because Nate ended up getting delayed on his flight, and actually I don't know, because I was still on my pilgrimage, so I don't know if Father Joe and Tom ran something or not.
I think they did, but I'm not
Father
sure.
Joe in months. Is there an email list I'm just not on? Because I'm okay with that.
I don't know if he does emails. There's a Discord, but it is a dead Discord.
I don't even
The
know
Real
what's
Country
Discord.
No, like a separate Olympia Estuary Discord. I think Antonio's the only other person on there.
Yeah, no, this is complete news to me.
Yep.
But I have enough with Flying Monkey Con. That's,
Someday.
yeah, Discord was hopping today. There was like 4 different voice chats going when I hopped onto my first one at 5. Really to be like, I can't be in 2 places at once. Dang it!
You gotta get over the FOMO. You're gonna have to pick one, and that's the only one you can go to.
I know. Gotta catch up with the gold mid. He's got business.
It's kind of like the party house situation at Midwestern. It's like you can't go to every party. You gotta pick one.
So stay away from those hotel bars. They're loud and annoying.
Agreed.
Were there any ones that we really missed? I feel like party wise. I'm not sure there were, but
I mean, I just went back to the Kumbaya house after, like, we went over the first evening to Noah and Neil's place, but after that it was just kind of like, I think I'm just gonna go back to the Kumbaya house and chill.
Noah, did you even name your house? Did that happen?
I don't think it happens.
The foxhole.
Oh yeah,
that's not
that's
bad.
right. That's right.
Although, I feel like there's some homophilic connotations to the fox.
Well,
No, there's no atheists in foxholes. That's what he's going for.
He is. There's other
foxes,
things that
foxes
aren't
have,
foxholes.
you know, robins have their nests, foxes have their holes, but the Son of Man has nowhere to lay his head.
So yours was the Jesus free house.
Well, I don't think that's what that implies. We invited Jesus
You guys
into
had
our house.
if you guys had a place, did you guys not book a room with 1 extra bed for Jesus? Did you even leave a chair up for Elijah?
No. Actually, though, we did, and that
And
was
Chad got
why
it. Yep.
Chad got it.
Oh, okay.
So actually, in a sense, Chad was like,
I mean, whatever you do to the least of these, and there was a little
Yeah.
baby in there.
Mm-hmm.
true. So actually, we won. We won the weekend.
No, if you get, like whoever gets Chad does win. That's true.
All right, you guys want to help me play it out?
Don't you dare go hollow.
I
Goodbye, then.
still have no closer.
I'll do the grim exit.
I've done.
Damn it, Zach. Goodbye then. Be safe, friends.
Look at that.
Don't you
Contrary
dare
to
do
the
a
end.
hollow.
Uses all forms of liturgy.
Bye and bye.